This program is brought to you by Easy PC, the step-by-step guide to home computing. At your newsagent now.
If you're shooting for the sky, just stand up. If you're not afraid of life, just stand up. For the loving in your eyes, oh, stand up. Yeah, stand up next to me. If you're looking for...
Good evening, or as they say in Denmark, velkommen to this 7 News special presentation, the royal wedding of Crown Prince Frederik and Mary Donaldson. They say every little girl grows up wanting to be a princess. Well, tonight Mary Donaldson takes that fairy tale and makes it reality. Joining me in the studio tonight on this special broadcast is Lena Christensen from the Danish Trade Commission. She's going to be giving us some expert and special insight, and as well some special translation services when we need it. Welcome to you, Lena.
Thank you, Chris. It's a wonderful time to be here.
Good to have you here. Now, we are running already a little behind time, so let's go straight down to Copenhagen Cathedral, Our Lady's Church, and have a look at some of the arrivals. And in fact, as we take up there, here is the Queen Margrethe II arriving just a couple of moments late. She was due to arrive at 5 to 4 local time, instead just a couple of minutes after that. So, looking quite resplendent as she gives the crowd a wave. She is the most popular of the royal family, and is certainly one of the reasons the royal family had maintained such a consistent popularity inside Denmark for so long. Lena, with her, of course, the Prince Consort, Henrik.
That's right. And Margaret II became queen in 72 with the motto, God's help, the love of the people, Denmark's strength. And that's a motto she's very much tried to live up to in every aspect of her life.
The arrival's just about complete, and it will be completed with this one. This is Mary Donaldson's car, I believe, a Rolls-Royce Wraith. Is that right, Lena?
That's right, a silver Wraith from 1958. The royal family's got 3 of them, and I think there was 59 of them made in total.
Year?
Yes, in that year. Yes.
While this car makes its way towards Our Lady's Church, let's quickly check out the arrival just half an hour ago of Crown Prince Frederik and his best man. That moment, that identity had been kept secret until today. It turns out he's chosen his younger brother, Prince Joachim. The two of them
his uniform today
took their positions in front of the church, waving the very enthusiastic crowd, and the prince there in his full gala naval uniform, his younger brother in his full gala infantry uniform. He looks a little bit nervous, I've got to say, compared to the last week in which we've seen him. Let's take it back now. Queen Margrethe, her husband, the Prince Consort Henrik. The royal fanfare begins as the two of them take to the red carpet and make their entry.
The Queen, of course, is very highly educated. She has degrees in prehistoric archaeology, in social sciences and in economics. She has a great interest in all the arts and is an ardent painter, and she makes costumes for the Royal Theatre. She's translated The Lord of the Rings long before it became a movie.
Is that right?
Yes. She's very much a people's queen. She stays in contact with the people of Denmark by going around every summer in her royal yacht to all the little harbors around the country. And she gets off and meets with the people there and has lunch and goes on to the next town. And that's a yearly event, and the people of Denmark love her for it.
The basis of her popularity, and I'm sure a style that the young couple that will take her place one day will continue. As we continue our delayed coverage here, the Queen approaches her son, the Prince Consort there,
very joyous occasion, one that no doubt the Queen has been looking forward to. It can't always have been easy to have a son of 35 years of age, the future King of Denmark, not settling on any particular girl for his future queen.
He did enjoy his 20s. We've read much about that in the last few weeks.
Yes, very popular bachelor.
Yeah, Euro playboy I heard him described as at one time. But today, of course, a moment that marks the end of that. Let's take up with the local commentary. These pictures are coming from DR Television, the Danish broadcaster. Let's take a listen to how they're describing the events there in Our Lady's Church.
That wedding did not take place in the Copenhagen Cathedral, but in Holmens Kirke in Copenhagen. It's the young couple here, Frederik and Donaldson themselves, who have chosen this beautiful cathedral for their wedding. There's music by the brass ensemble of the Royal Guards. Played the fanfare by Antonio Soler. What we are waiting for now is, of course, the bride and her father to arrive. Crown Prince seems maybe a little bit nervous, but difficult to blame him. Millions of people are watching on television. And even if he has a good education, the pressure is tough on him today. Once again, back to the streets of Copenhagen. Another vehicle arriving. We have a feeling that Smerre Donaldson and her father, the 32-year-old girl from Hobart, Tasmania, arriving to be the Crown Princess, Europe's oldest monarchy. Isn't that a kind of fairy tale? Mr. John Dalglish Donaldson. Mr. Donaldson was born in Scotland, in Edinburgh, 1941, and then immigrated to Australia in 1963 and became an Australian citizen in 1975. Has been a lecturer on the University of Tasmania for many years. Mr. John Donaldson retired from his position at the University of Tasmania last year, and now he's doing lectures around in the world, and he will be working for the University of Aarhus in Denmark as well in the future.
Well, doesn't the look on the face of the young Crown Prince say it all? Some trepidation, anticipation, excitement, deep breath there as he's waiting to see his bride-to-be come down that red-carpeted aisle in the Our Lady's Church, the Copenhagen Cathedral. Beside him, his brother, younger brother, Prince Joachim. The dress, I've got to say, from an amateur's point of view, Lena, was quite startling.
Wonderful, Chris. It was, of course, designed by the Queen's favourite designer, Uffe Frank, who is stationed in Milan in France, and whom Mary Donaldson went down to see some time ago to be measured. And, of course, it has been kept a secret what the actual design would be like, but here it is, and it's a stunning piece, very simple, very graceful, and yet with that headpiece, very, very soft looking also.
Absolutely. And with her, as the Danish commentator said, her father, what a great day for him. He's been so excited in these lead-up weeks. And special to see him dressed in the full kilt, his family heritage there on display. As the commentator said, they immigrated from Scotland back in the 60s and became Australian citizens in 1975. This day for him, what would be running through his head? And there goes the band. The band strikes up, the orchestra there playing some Handel. I think that's Zadok the priest.
And it could be Crown Prince Frederik's turn to have an out-of-body experience.
That's right. Those are the words that Mary Donaldson used to describe that moment. Some tears well up.
Yes.
In the eyes of the young prince. Out-of-body experience, she said, when she described the balcony scene October 8th when they got engaged last year.
Yes.
Let's let this moment breathe a little bit.
John Dalglish Donaldson leading his daughter, Mary Elizabeth Donaldson, to the altar to the sound of the anthem, Zadok the priest. Music by Handel. Now the wedding ceremony is underway. It's going on right now. The first hymn the congregation sings, the hymn called "The Blessed New Day, with Joy We See."
Take the shot there of the Flower Girls, the daughters of Mary Donaldson, the sisters Jane and Trish. Cut away to the Queen and Prince Consort. Let me ask you, Lena, about this cathedral, Our Lady's. Some vast history to this building.
Yes, well, a church has existed on this spot since 1209, but at least 2 fires have destroyed a building on that spot, the church itself, since then. The current church has been standing in this spot since 1779. But the first time a church was used as the Copenhagen Cathedral for a royal wedding was in fact for Queen Margaret I, who became Queen Margaret I of Norway upon her marriage to Håkon, King Håkon VI
Right.
of Norway. And she was only 10 years old when she was married in this church.
My goodness.
So she later grew up to be the queen who united Denmark, Norway, and Sweden into what's called the Kalmar Union. And this union is still celebrated on the Danish coat of arms in the form of 3 golden crowns.
That's the extraordinary thing about Denmark and the royal family in particular. They lay claim, quite justifiably, to the fact that they are the oldest royal family in Europe, dating back to 950. That colourful character, once a Viking turned straight man Christian and ruler of Denmark, declarer of Denmark. His name again, Gorm the Old.
The Old, yes. Well, it was in fact his son, Harald Bluetooth I, who proclaimed Denmark as being a nation of itself. He kind of gathered all the Viking tribes together and declared Denmark a country. And at the same time, he declared himself a Christian man and that the country of Denmark was Christian. Up until then, of course, Christianity had gradually come into Denmark, but it had not ever been officially accepted in that way.
And that moment, the formation of Denmark as a country, also recorded on stone. Tell us about that tale.
It is engraved on a very large rune stone called the Jellinge stone, which is still sitting in the same spot in a town called Jellinge in Jutland in Denmark. And anyone can go and see and touch this rune stone and see the original inscriptions on it.
Now, Mary Donaldson, of course, is to be, I guess, when the Queen either abdicates or passes away, she will become Queen of Denmark,
Yes.
which will be obviously an extraordinary moment in her life. But it's got to be said, history tells us that she's not Tasmania's first princess. I was reading in some of the research from this week that that title particularly belongs to Pauline Curran, who married Prince Maximilian Melikov in 1926, one of the Russian royal family members in exile.
Yes.
So, Mary, you're not the first, but you could become the first Australian queen in Europe. What an extraordinary moment that would be. She tells a story too in one of her interviews from the last couple of weeks that her first memory of any royal moment was watching Charles and Di's wedding in 1981 on the television. She never thought that she would be following their footsteps. She said she just wanted to be a vet.
Yes.
Let's take up with the commentary here from our colleagues in Denmark.
Vor Herre Jesu Kristi nåde, Guds kærlighed og Helligåndens fællesskab være med jer alle. Lad os alle bede. Herre, vor Gud, himmelske Far,
The Bishop of Copenhagen,
vi takker
Erik
dig for
Norman
livet, du
Svendsen,
gav os, og for
who
alle
is
dem,
in
der har
charge
vist
of
os
the
kærlighed,
celebration
fra
and
vi var
the
børn og
proclamation
indtil
of
i dag.
marriage.
Vi beder dig, giv os stadig, hvad vi behøver, og forny daglig vor indbyrdes kærlighed ved Jesus Kristus, vor Herre, som med dig lever og regerer i Helligånds enhed, en sand Gud, fra evighed og til evighed. Således står der skrevet. Da Gud havde skabt himlen og jorden, havet, solen, månen og stjernerne, planterne og dyrene, sagde han, lad os skabe mennesker i vort billede, så de ligner os. De skal herske over havets fisk, himlens fugle, kvæget, alle de vilde dyr og alle krybdyr, der kryber på jorden. Og Gud Herren skabte mennesket i sit billede. I Guds billede skabte han det. Som mand og kvinde skabte han dem. Og Gud velsignede dem. Og hvor Herre Jesus Kristus siger, har I ikke læst, at skaberen fra begyndelsen skabte dem som mand og kvinde og sagde, derfor skal en mand forlade sin far og mor og binde sig til sin hustru, og de to skal blive ét kød. Derfor er de ikke længere to, men ét kød. Hvad Gud altså har sammenføjet, må et menneske ikke adskille. Og apostlen Paulus skriver, bær hinandens byrder, således opfylder I Kristi lov. I før jer da som Guds
We might
udvalgte,
take some translation here from Lena Christensen. If you just give us some of the spirit, the gist of what
ydmyghed, mildhed,
the Copenhagen Bishop,
tålmodighed,
Yes.
Erik Norman Svendsen,
Yes.
is saying. I presume he's reading from the Bible at this stage.
og
He's
tilgive
reading from the
hinanden, hvis den
Bible.
ene har
He
lovet
is,
at bebrejde den anden.
He's reminding them of the loving bond between husband and wife in the name of God, in the union with God. And he's putting great emphasis on love in the marriage and in that union. And he's asking them to remember that throughout their marriage, that it's a sacred bond and a loving bond between a man and a woman, and between man, woman, and God.
Thank you.
Kære brudepar, kære kronprins Frederik og Mary Donaldson. Det må føles overvældende for et brudepar at træde ind i Københavns Domkirke i dag. Utallige brudepar har prøvet det før, og for dem alle har det været en overvældende oplevelse. Ikke mindst for bruden, som skal gå den lange vej.
Get some translation here.
Well, the Most Reverend Bishop of Copenhagen, Erik Norman Svendsen, is telling the young couple, Crown Prince Frederik and Mary Donaldson, that entering Copenhagen Cathedral today must surely have been an overwhelming feeling for a bride and bridegroom. He says that numerous couples have done so before, and for them too it has been a breathtaking experience. This is especially so for the bride, who has to make the long walk up the aisle while the excited eyes of all present are resting upon her. And millions in Denmark and all over the world will watch this couple today on television. The bishop continues, when I entered this church 12 years ago to be consecrated bishop, I felt exactly the same. During the first hymn, as I was sitting here in the chancel with Bishop Grasholt, who consecrated me, he whispered smilingly, "Are you enjoying it?" And without waiting for my answer, he continued, "You might as well do so, since you are here anyway." I tell you, that helped. Amidst the massive turnout of people and media, even a royal couple should be able to enjoy their own wedding. Enjoy and rejoice that you have found one another and have been joined together. And today you are confirming this before man and God. Enjoy and rejoice that so many are following this event with genuine interest and sympathy. You are not only today's couple, but also the couple of the year in Denmark. There is no doubt about that. You are the symbol of life and happiness, youth and love. Somehow we all take part in your joy and happiness as we follow the events of the day. Hence the great expectations towards this wedding, and therefore we all, great and small, take part in this joy.
Tilhører nemlig ikke kun hinanden, men os alle.
A royal couple does not belong solely to each other, but to all of us. We feel, and you know it, great assignments and many obligations await you. You will continue the Danish monarchy and thereby the Danish social structure. It is of crucial importance that this is maintained and renewed at a time marked by internationalization and globalization. Every monarch and every sovereign couple in Denmark has in the course of time contributed to the society we know and acknowledge today. That is why the monarchy is so firmly established with the Danish people. When the Danish people take part in this wedding today with such great joy and enthusiasm, we do so trusting the cultivation and education of our bride and bridegroom for this task. As a naval officer, Crown Prince Frederik knows Admiral Niels Juel's motto, "Nec timere, nec timidi," neither reckless nor timid. This is a motto which also Mary Donaldson too is acquainted with, as she has left her own country and continent to join us here in the far north to become Danish.
Men selv for et kronprinsepar gælder det, at brud og brudgom
But it is true even for a crown prince and his bride that they first and foremost belong to each other, for better and worse. It is not good for man to be alone, as it is written. We all need confidence to share life with, and nowhere is this realized as intimately and with such mutual givings as in marriage.
at vi dagligt er opmærksomme på hinanden.
We need to be attentive and allow each other the necessary space to talk confidently.
Fortroligt. Den ro kan det ofte knibe med at få i vores moderne samfund, hvor
This
mulighederne
peaceful
for
space
adspredelse
is often scarce
og
in
kravet om
modern
deltagelse i
society, where
dagligdagens
the
mange
opportunities for
gøremål kan lægge
recreation
beslag på alle
and the demands for
døgnets 24 timer.
participation in the numerous
Ikke mindst
chores
for
of daily
kronprinsepar,
life soon
som jo
take
ikke
up
kan vise sig
24
offentligt
hours a
uden
day.
at blive bemærket og
This is
betragtet.
no less true of a crown prince
Vi
and
har alle
princess
et medansvar
who are
for,
unable to appear in
at
public
vores
without
kronprinsepar
being noticed
får
and
fred
watched.
til at være ægtepar,
However,
så de
we
også
must
kan nyde
all
hinanden.
share the responsibility that our crown prince and princess find the possibility to enjoy peace in each other's company, even
De
when the
er kommet til
honeymoon
os
is
fra den
over.
anden side af jorden. Fra det smukke og bjergrige
Dear
Tasmanien
Mary Donaldson,
til det lavlandede
you have come to
yndige
us
Danmark.
from the far side of the earth,
Begge vore lande
from
er
the
præget af
beautiful and
havets
mountainous
nærhed
Tasmania
og
to the
årstidernes
low-lying
skiften.
lovely Denmark. Both
Vi
of
glæder
our
os
countries are
til at vise
characterized
dem
by the
deres nye
imminent
land
sea and the
fra
changing
sin smukkeste
seasons.
side i den frydefulde sommertid.
We are looking forward to show you your new country when it is most beautiful in the delightful summertime, when you and the Crown Prince on board the good ship
Hvor
Dannebrog
de med egne
will be
øjne kan
visiting
se, at
town
kongeriget
and
ikke
country.
kun er lavland, men også Grønland.
Afterwards,
Og
the
møde
journey
et folk,
takes
der
you
ligesom
north,
Færøerne
that you
er en
may
del
see
af
with
det
your
danske
own
rige.
eyes that not all
Med
the
egen
kingdom of
historie,
Denmark is
kultur
lowland,
og
but
sprog.
that it also includes Greenland.
Mere end noget andet
Here
i
you
dag
will
er
meet
det
a
monarkiet,
nation that, like the
synligt
Faroe
binder de tre
Islands,
folk
is
sammen
part of the Danish kingdom,
i rigsfællesskabet.
but with a history,
Og
language,
overalt vil de
and culture of
kronprinsen
their
blive
own.
modtaget med åbne arme.
More than anything else, the monarchy is binding the three nations together in a Danish commonwealth.
For besøg fra den store verden.
Everywhere, you and the Crown Prince will be received with open arms and candid curiosity.
Og de har fået
We are a
prinsen.
little curious when we have visitors from the wide world.
Det er lige før vi med eventyrets
From
ord kan
today,
fortsætte.
you are a real
Og de levede
princess
lykkeligt
who has got both the prince
dages ende.
and all the kingdom.
Men så let som i eventyret
We can
går
almost
den
continue
ikke
with the words of the
virkelighedens
fairy
verden.
tale, and they lived
Det
happily
vil
ever
vi alle
after.
fra vores liv.
But nothing in
Og
the
det er der ingen
real
grund til at
world is
skjule.
as uncomplicated
på en
as
bryllupsdag.
in the fairy tales.
Til menneskelivet hører både
We
glæder
all
og
know
sorger,
that from our
gode
own
og onde
lives,
dage.
and there is no reason to hide
Derfor vi
it.
har brug for hinanden.
Joys and sorrows
blive
both
opmuntret
belong
og
to
trøstet,
human life,
og
as
at give
good
trøst
and
og
evil
opmuntring
days.
til andre.
This is why we need one another and
At
need to
leve
be
lykkeligt har ikke så
encouraged
meget
and
med følelser at
comforted
gøre,
and to give comfort and
som med at
encouragement to
livet
others.
lykkes. I den forstand,
Living happily has
at der
less to
kommer
do
noget
with
godt
feelings
og
than with
frugtbart ud
life
af det.
succeeding in something good and
så vi på
fruitful.
trods af meget af det, vi kommer ud for i det brogede menneskeliv,
Thus,
får lov at
in
opleve
spite of
livet
many
som
encounters
meningsfyldt,
during the course of a
fordi
lifetime,
vi gør en forskel.
we are allowed to experience
Først og
life
fremmest
as
i de nære
meaningful
og forpligtende
because we
forhold
make
som
a
ægteskab,
difference,
venskab.
primarily in the
slægtskab.
close commitments like marriage,
Det er meningen med vores
friendship,
liv,
and
Sådan
relationships.
som det er blevet os betroet af livets Gud og skaber.
And that is the purpose of our lives as it was given
som
to
har
us
givet os
by
livet
God, the creator
og
of
givet
life.
os til hinanden.
For it is God who has granted
Ikke
us
for, at vi skal
life
leve
and
livet som
entrusted
vores
us
egne
with
herrer,
one
men
another.
for at vi skal leve i lyset
Therefore, we shall not live
vor
as
Herres
masters
ord.
of our own
Og det vil sige,
lives, but live in the
kærlighed.
light of the word of our
sådan som vor
Lord.
Herre Jesus selv har
That
sagt.
is, live
gjort.
in love, as our
Derfor
Lord
lød
Jesus
skriftens
said
formaning
and
før,
did
I skal
himself.
iføre jer kærligheden, som er fuldkommenhedens bånd.
Therefore, the exhortation of Holy
Den
Scripture,
kærlighed,
above all,
som består
clothes
i
yourselves with love,
godhed,
which binds
ydmyghed,
everything together
mildhed,
in perfect
tålmodighed,
harmony.
som bærer over med
That
hinanden.
love embodies compassion, kindness, humility,
Den kærlighed
meekness,
er det alt om
and
at
patience.
ville. For vi vil
It even
ofte,
makes us bear with
så meget
and
andet.
forgive one
Men Guds
another.
kærlighed, som møder os varmt og livgivende i Jesus Kristus,
Though we are often
holde os
distracted,
fast på
we must
at
strive
ville
for this
den
love.
kærlighed.
But God's
Hver gang
tender
vi
and
kommer til
life-giving
kort i
love
vores liv
through
med
Jesus
andre,
Christ will
så
confirm
vil
us
han
in
i sin
striving for His
kærlighed
love.
tilgive os
Every time we
og kalde
fall
os
short in
tilbage
our
til
relations with other
kærligheden på
people,
ny.
God will forgive us
derfor,
in
vi
His
holder
love and urge
kirkedag
us to love
og
again.
kirkebryllup, for
Therefore
at
we
vi må
worship
blive
at a wedding.
opbygget af Guds
We
ord,
hope to
så vi
be
ikke stirrer os
revived
blinde
by the
på
word
vore
of
egne
God,
bekymringer
so that
og
we shall not be
bedrøvelighed,
blinded by our
men får
capacity
livsmod
for
af
worry
alt
and
det, som
sadness.
Jesus har sat ind i
We
verden
hope to
af
regain
tro,
hope
håb
from all the
og
faith,
kærlighed.
hope and charity which
Hver gang
Jesus brought to the
Vi
world.
træder ind i dette kirkerum, bliver vi stærkt mindet herom, fordi alt i
Every
dette
time we
kirkerum
enter
samles
this
i Kristus
cathedral
figuren.
church, we are strongly reminded about this, because everything comes together in the sculpture of Christ over the altar table.
Når vi samles
His
her ved
head is
alteret, ser
bowed
vi ligesom
towards us,
Kristus
and his
ind i
eyes
øjnene
rest upon
og
us.
ser ham med hænderne
When we
række
are gathered
modtagende
here
ud.
at the altar,
Kommer til
it
mig,
is as if
står
we
der
look
med store
Christ
bogstaver.
right into the eyes,
Og herunder med
and we
små
see him with his
Matthæus
hands receiving us
11:28.
tenderly with the assurance,
Det er ikke blot
"Come to
Thorvaldsens
me,"
Kristusfigur, der
as
er
it says with
verdensberømt.
capital
Det er
letters
det ord af
underneath.
Jesus også. Kom til mig, alle I, som slider jer trætte og bærer tunge byrder.
For even more well known
Og jeg
than
vil
the
give jer
sculpture of Christ by
Se,
Thorvaldsen,
det ord er
which
godt
is
at have
known
for
in
øje
all
i
the
hele
world,
det brogede
are the
menneskeliv.
words by Jesus. Come to
kalder på
me,
os,
all
når
you
vi
that
har
are
allermest
weary
brug
and
for
are
det.
carrying heavy burdens, and I will
Opfordringen om
give
at
you
komme til
rest.
Kristus er ikke et løfte om en
It is of
problemfri
importance to
tilværelse,
remember this
men
in the
et løfte om,
complex human
at han vil
life.
være med os
It
alle
makes us
dage
listen when we
og
need
bære
it
med på vore
most.
byrder.
The encouragement
selv har
to come
ansvar
to
for,
Christ is not meant
og
as
dem,
an
som andre
assurance
måske
of a life
uretfærdigt
without
lægger
any
på
problems, but a promise that He
Hos
will
ham
be
kan
with
vi
us
alle finde
always
hvile,
and share those
selv når
burdens
livet
that we are
synes
responsible for.
uroligt.
And He will carry the
komme til
unjustified
Kristus er først og
tribulations
sidst
that might
komme til
torment our
kærligheden,
lives.
hvor den er
In
klarest
Him we will
og
find
renest,
peace even
og
when
dermed
life is
få nye
troubled.
kræfter til at leve det liv, vi har
To
fået
come to
betroet.
Christ is to accept love when it is
tillid
most
hertil
clear and pure.
Kan vi både begynde
And so
et ægteskab
we regain strength
og hver
to
ny
live
dag
with the duties
Gud
that we
giver
were
os
trusted with.
at leve.
Trusting this,
Gud velsigne jer.
we can begin both married life and every new day God gives us to live. Amen.
Now, of course, Mary Donaldson met Crown Prince Frederik back on the first day of the Olympic Games here in Sydney, September 15, 2000. In those 4 years that they managed to maintain the relationship, let it build, let it grow, rarely did she speak about it. She was always polite, always smiling, and always refused to comment. That was until just the last week when she gave or released a special documentary that was filmed on her life, and the 7 Network broadcast that Wednesday night, went for an hour. There were some wonderful moments in it. We'd like to play you one of those moments now, just the thoughts of Mary, and the frightening thought that she had back then in September 2000 that she might never see Frederik again. Take a listen.
When Frederik went back to Denmark, I was not sure if I'd ever see him again. We'd only spent such a short period together, and he lives on the other side of the world, so it wasn't a certainty that we would meet again. Of course, I was saddened when he left, and felt that it was such a shame that he wasn't an Australian.
There you go, the words of Mary Donaldson there in that documentary Channel 7 broadcast this week. Coming to the end of this psalm now. And just after this will be the moment, of course, that everybody has been waiting for. The exchange of vows, the moment the two of them say, I do. They've been very generous in allowing the media and the cameras into this cathedral for this occasion, but there's one thing that they've asked, apparently, the cameras not to film, and that's just that moment, the moment they say I do. Now, whether they've relinquished that request and allowed us to continue broadcasting it, we'll find out in less than a couple of minutes' time. The two of them quietly contemplating what's about to happen.
Yes, it really is a very private and personal moment, isn't it? And you can see that they're longing to have that privacy, and yet they're very aware that they're there as much for the people as for themselves.
Lena Christensen is going to translate these next few minutes for us. Let us know what's happening.
Så tilspørger jeg dig, Frederik, André, Henrik, Christian.
I now ask you,
Vil du have
Frederik,
Mary
Andre,
Elisabeth
Henrik,
Donaldson,
Christian,
som hos dig står til din ægte hustru?
will you take Mary Elizabeth Donaldson
Vil du
standing
elske og
by your
ære
side
hende
to
og
be
leve
your
med hende
wife?
både i medgang og modgang?
I will.
I hvad lykke Gud den almægtige vil tilskikke
Will
jer?
you love and honor
Som
her
en
and live
ægtemand
with her in
bør leve med
prosperity
sin
and
ægte
adversity,
hustru,
in what fortune
indtil
God
døden
the
skiller jer
Almighty
ad?
will send you, as a husband should live with his wedded wife
Lige så
until death
tilspørger jeg
parts you.
dig, Mary Elisabeth Donaldson.
Likewise, I ask you,
Vil
Mary
du have
Elizabeth
Frederik,
Donaldson,
André, Henrik,
will you
Christian,
take Frederik,
som
Andre,
hos dig
Henrik,
står til din
Christian
ægtemand?
standing by your side to be your
Vil du
husband?
elske og ære ham og leve med ham, både i
Will you
medgang
love
og
and honor
modgang?
him and will with
hvad
him
lykke
in
Gud den
prosperity and
almægtige vil
adversity,
tilskikke jer,
in what fortune God
som
the
en
Almighty
ægte
will
hustru
send
bør
you,
leve med sin
as a
ægtemand,
wife should live with her.
indtil døden skiller jer ad. Så giv hinanden hånd derpå.
Then join your hands together.
Eftersom I forud har lovet hinanden at ville leve
Since you have
sammen i
promised one
ægteskab,
another that you will
og nu
live
har
together
bekræftet
in
dette
marriage,
for Gud
and
og
have
for os,
now
som er her til
confirmed this
stede,
before God
og givet
and
hinanden
before
hånd
us
derpå,
who are present, I declare
så
you to be
forkynder
man
jeg
and
jer
wife
at være ægtefolk,
before God
både for Gud
and all
og mennesker.
mankind.
I Faderens og Søndens og Helligåndens navn. Amen.
We now want them to exchange rings, and so I guess this is the moment we'll see if we continue to have
Well, that
Giv
as
hinanden disse ringe
vision
som
of
tegn
them.
på jeres ægteskab.
They will kneel now.
Lad os alle bede.
Let us all pray.
Almægtige Gud, som skabte mand og kvinde til at leve sammen i ægteskab
Dear
og
Heavenly
velsignede
Father,
dem. Vi beder dig, velsign denne brud og
grant this man
brudgom.
and this woman grace,
Lad dem altid
happiness,
leve af
and
din
blessing
nåde og
in soul
indbyrdes
and body.
kærlighed. Fader vor, du som er i himlene, helliget vorte dit navn, komme dit rige.
Grant that they
Ske
may
din
love one
vilje
another
som i
with
himlen,
faithful love and
således
serve you
også på
sincerely in
jorden.
all things, that they
Giv
may
os i
live
dag vores
as your dear
daglige brød,
children
og forlad
and
os vores
finally be
skyld,
gathered
som også
unto
vi
you
forlader vores
in the
skyldnere.
eternal mansions.
Og led os ikke i fristelse, men fri os fra det onde. Til dit er riget
Our Father
og
in
magten
heaven,
og
hallowed
æren
be your
i
name.
evighed.
Your kingdom come.
Amen.
Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Være med jer. Amen.
And he continues the rest of the prayer, and peace be with you. And we will now return to the front of the altar.
Outside this cathedral, we can't quite pick it up on the audio from inside here that we're listening to, with the crowd going wild, cheering, and congratulations. A little bit more sedate inside this grand old cathedral. Well, there you have it, the moment has happened. The two of them now joined. I detect some relief on the face of Crown Prince Frederik, and the smile's returned.
Smile.
Yep.
Yes, that's very nice.
It's working in the background there on her train was Mary Donaldson's best friend.
This is St. Francis' prayer, arranged on the occasion of the royal marriage for trumpet, harp, boy, soprano, and choir. The choir is from the Copenhagen Royal Chapel Choir. And a very mellow piece.
Listen to the choir there and harp strings gently being played. Let's return to some more thoughts from Mary from that documentary I mentioned a few minutes ago. These are her thoughts on marriage, on love.
A good marriage is one that grows and stretches and bends and takes the hurdles of life as it comes, and that the two people involved in a marriage work to make the road as smooth and joyful as possible.
Mary Donaldson's talking there about love and marriage. She's, of course, had to go through so much these last few years getting prepared for this moment. We've all seen her taking the Danish lessons, which have been, I think, Lena, pretty well received. She's done a remarkable job. Once the learning Danish was described to me as talking with a potato in your throat, a pretty hard language to master, but she's done okay.
She's done very well, and she's in fact done so well that she now speaks English on occasions with a Danish accent. So she's doing very well with that, yes. And she has a very soft tone about it. Many Danes speak the language in quite a staccato type of way. But she's very softly spoken.
She's had to take lessons in deportment. There's been some gossip in newspapers that she's lost an awful amount of weight too in these last few months, 5 kilos, getting movie star thin. She also had to change her religion, I think, from Presbyterian to Lutheran to take part in
Protestant.
this. Yeah.
Yes.
So a major commitment from her.
It is a major commitment. I'm not sure what effect that will have on her daily life as such. They are both Christian branches, and I'm not quite sure what the difference is, but I know that, as we heard in the sermon before, the emphasis in the Protestant religion is the love between two people in the union with God. So certainly it should suit her very well for the purpose of her marriage and her future life. It'd be interesting to hear from her what thoughts she has on the subject herself.
I know also, I read, I thought with some controversy, that she was also asked to undergo fertility tests by the royal family. Part of, again, the preparations of joining the family. They wanted to ensure that she was able to produce future generations.
Yes, yes. I'm a little bit surprised at hearing that, but then again, you get surprised every day by something. I guess it's just one of those facts of life. And again, back to the sermon, they lived happily ever after. Well, yes, but you have to also be prepared for life to throw challenges, and you have to be able to deal with those challenges along the way. And I guess the royal household has tried to if not prevent, then certainly, I'm getting the Danish word here.
You're losing your English.
Yes.
Well, let's just pause for that moment there anyway and let this Danish traditional song conclude.
Lad os bede. Herre, vær os miskundelig. Gud bevar vor dronning. Iklæd dine tjenere retfærdighed.
As these prayers and benedictions continue, we might just take a quick detour to outside the cathedral. I mentioned earlier that the crowd were certainly enjoying themselves when they heard the news of the actual exchange of vows. Our reporter Tim Verstegen is out there amongst them. And Tim, we ask you about the mood down there.
Well, Chris, as with every big event in the world, of course, there are Australians to be found. And just look at these people here. We've got Chloe from Gympie. Chloe, what's the atmosphere like?
Oh, it's wonderful. There's merry mania everywhere. Australians just great. It's a great day.
And Samantha from Warrnambool,
Yes.
How have Australians been received here?
Oh, wonderful. I mean, we've had Danish people taking pictures with us all morning and everyone wants to talk to you. It's really exciting.
Fantastic. Now, Rachel, you've come all the way from Brisbane.
Yeah, from Brisbane.
What experience? It must be an amazing experience for you.
Oh yeah, it's pretty amazing, like to come to Denmark and everyone's speaking another language. It's so cool to see all the Australian flags everywhere and everyone taking pictures of us, and so it's just such a great experience to be here for the wedding.
Emma, also from Brizzy. Now, this must be a lifetime experience for you. You'll be remembering this for a while.
Yeah, for a long time. We'll remember this forever, I think.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, girls, now if you could sum up the event, what would you say? Well, oh dear, Chris, you can see it's a party atmosphere here. Back to you.
That was the predictable response, wasn't it, to that question? I had to have an Aussie in there somewhere. But Tim's right. There's been several mentions over the course of the last few days of the strong relationships now forming between our two countries. Even the Copenhagen bishop mentioned the backpackers. And that was something actually that the Danish Prime Minister brought up in his toast to the young couple at the reception that was held for them at Copenhagen City Town Hall. And he said, I might quote his words here, that over the years, thousands of young Danes have backpacked across Australia. They've been greeted with exciting experiences in Australian hospitality. Dear Miss Donaldson, he said, we will do our utmost to see that you also feel welcome and at home in our country. Well, it's certainly coming home tonight. Mary Donaldson says she's felt exceptionally warm welcome from the people of Denmark. And indeed, in surveys that the newspapers have taken this last couple of weeks, her popularity has been enormous. The Danes really have seemed to have taken her to heart. Lena?
Absolutely. Chris, and I think also that's what she was referring to when she said it was like an out-of-body experience on this balcony. It was the joy and the love and the sound of all these cheering people down in the palace grounds. That was what brought this feeling of unreality to her, and she couldn't quite believe just how loved and how much attention that she was getting from the people of Denmark. So.
It's a feeling that's reciprocated as well. I know that around Australia, and particularly, of course, in Tasmania, there are parties and celebrations going on. I know that at the Slip Inn, where the young couple met back in 2000, they have all sorts of special functions going on there. I think they're running a campaign saying, "Come meet your own prince." The publican there doing his best to try and draw in the patrons. I think anyone with a Danish passport gets a free Carlsberg as well. I know there's a special celebration going on with the Danish community being held at the Opera House. And I think in a couple of minutes' time, we might see if we can cross live down to there to talk to our reporter at that scene. We'll work on that. But as we're doing that, let's just go back to the broadcast. And we note there the two of the three bridesmaids, that Mary chose for the wedding were Trish Bailey, Jane Stevens, her sisters, and her best friend Amber Petty. Amber's the blonde. mentioned that we would try to cross to our reporter Cassie Hamer down at the Opera House. We have found Cassie and we're about to cross to her now. She is, of course, at the Opera House, that great building designed by, of course, a Dane, Jørn Utzon. Cassie, you're with us. What's happening down there? Who's with you?
Well, Rezo, it's really been like a wedding reception here tonight. There have been toasts, there have been speeches, there's been lots of cheering for Mary Donaldson and her Crown Prince Frederik. Now, behind me basically are about 270 guests, members of the Danish-Australian business community. They've forked out about $4,000 a table for the privilege of dining in the shadow of the Opera House, which, as you mentioned, was designed by Danish architect Jørn Utzon. Now, there have been some other Danish touches here tonight. The guests have been drinking Carlsberg beer, and there's also just next to me what's left of a Danish wedding cake. This is called a kransekage, or what's left of it. It's a very practical sort of cake. Basically, the guests walk up, they take a piece for themselves, and they can take it back to their tables. Now, everyone's pretty much settled in here for the night. We're watching the telecast live, and the reaction seems to be great. They're really loving it. They're loving Mary. They think Prince Frederik has been a little bit nervous. A couple of Australian politicians here as well. I spoke earlier with the Attorney General, Philip Ruddock, who said basically he was a little bit concerned about Mary Donaldson's dress. He thought maybe the train was a little too long and maybe it got dirty. But
Philip Ruddock, that great man of fashion.
True. He said that the dress reminded him of the dress that his wife wore some years ago. So lots of nostalgia for him, Rezo.
Cassie Hamer down there at the Opera House. We appreciate your time. Thank you. Let's go back now to the cathedral where the events, the ceremony is coming to an end.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see what the weather is like now outside, and of course the weather will determine what kind of transport the royal couple are going to take through on their tour through Copenhagen.
I saw in the preliminary notes that the royal household distributed to the media during the week that there were two types of vehicles. They did have a contingency plan for wet weather. Obviously, it was deemed a little wet for the arrivals, but as you say, maybe,
well, you
just
never
maybe,
know.
They're going back to the horse-drawn open carriages that they had planned for, particularly for this moment, the ride from the cathedral out to Amalienborg Palace.
That's right.
Where we're waiting for that other special moment, the appearance of the two of them on the balcony, repeating that great picture of October 8 last year when the two of them first appeared, and a kiss. They've broken with protocol and decided to do it there and then on the aisle on the way out. They've been remarkably frank with their love for one another, these two. They have often thumbed their nose at royal protocols and traditions in these lead-up months, and we saw even in that documentary. Again, very close. Several times she kissed her prince in front of the cameras. Not considered an issue. And again, here today. Not quite going according to the published plan.
But that's
what
your
the hell?
club for you.
That's right.
Yes, I wonder how long the train is. It's looking quite in the vicinity of, what, 6-7 meters? It's certainly a beautiful dress.
The bridesmaids, and the flower girls rather, and the page boys. The flower girls are the daughters of Mary Donaldson's sisters. Erin Stevens, 8 years old, and Kate Stevens, 6, are the daughters of Mary Donaldson's elder sister Jane, who's married to Craig Stevens. And Madison Woods, 8 years old, is the daughter of Mary Donaldson's second eldest sister, Patricia Ann Bailey. Trisha, she's known as, who is married to Scott Bailey. The page boys, there are two of them. One's His Highness Prince Nikolai, 4 years old, the son of His Royal Highness Prince Joachim and Her Royal Highness Princess Alexandra. The other is Count Friedrich Richard Oscar Jefferson von Pfeffel und Klein-Ilgeth. How did I go with that? I'm not sure I got that anywhere near right, but he is 4 years old. That's way too long a name for a 4-year-old. He's the son of Count Jefferson. They are in the royal party, just behind the two of them as they emerge to cheers and applause.
And quite a wind. Wait and hear now whether they are going in the open carriage or if in fact it'll be the 24-carat gold leaf carriage built in 1840.
There we go.
Let's see what's waiting.
The question
it's the
answered.
open one.
It's the open carriage.
Good. So the weather is considered fine.
Well, that will be a big relief because, as I said, when they came to the cathedral, they were in a closed-topped car, and now they're leaving in the open-topped carriage.
Yes.
And that will be a huge relief to the thousands who've lined the streets of Copenhagen. Although I've got to say, just watching the pictures there as we see that aerial shot, the city not as crowded as I thought it would be. So the weather conditions this morning must have been a little blustery, a little rainy, kept people at home. I remember reading one piece of copy too through the week from one of Denmark's biggest TV distributors, that the biggest selling item in Denmark these last 2 months has been plasma screens and flat screen TVs, everyone wanting to watch this moment on TV in the comfort and dryness, warmth of their home.
Yes, well, that's the question you've got to ask yourself, whether the lure of the intense colour and, of course, the presence in the church when you sit in front of a nice large plasma screen is, in fact, won over the weather and the brief glimpse of the royal couple as people stand in the streets of Copenhagen. But let's see if it is, in fact, the barouche, the open horse-drawn carriage. It was built by Jos Neus in Berlin in 1906. It was also used at the wedding of Her Majesty the Queen and His Royal Highness the Prince Consort in 1967. It's the Royal Danish Regiment of Hussar Guards that will escort the newlywed Crown Prince and Crown Princess from the Copenhagen Cathedral to Amalienborg Palace through the streets of Copenhagen.
Now these streets are, this is an old city. These streets are narrow, windy. You've lived there much of your life, Lynn. I mean, what's the path it's going to take and where are we headed to next?
We will be going down the longest walking street in the world. It's recently had its 40-year anniversary with the longest breakfast table ever. It's called Strøget, and it's probably one of the wider streets in old Copenhagen. So there are older streets with more significant buildings, but it was considered not safe to bring the horses in through those with the possibility of the public being there as well. So we'll be going all the way down through Strøget, the walking street, and then around doing a U-turn and coming back up the other side of Copenhagen, back to the Kongens Nytorv, the King's New Square, and past the Danish Royal Theatre and back to Amalienborg Palace.
The horses are from the Royal Danish Guard. I think they have 48 of them in escort today for the young couple as they make their way down that path, waving to the crowd. It's interesting that there haven't been many great ties between our two countries. Another one. What's she doing? Breaking protocol left, right and centre.
And the sun is out too.
And the sun is shining. Of course it should do. Our two countries have been fairly remote. Not much bringing them together. We know, as we mentioned, Jörn Ertsen sort of designing the Opera House, and not many other. Joh Bjelke-Petersen comes to mind, the former Queensland Premier, but there have been some similarities. We both were made parliamentary democracies in 1901, and importantly, it should be noted today that we also, both nations, share troops in Iraq, both members of the Coalition of the Willing, and that takes us to another matter, security. Today, you'll see there the security detail very strong. The crowds kept back considerable distance. They've all been warned this week in considerable press reports and radio briefings that they shouldn't throw flowers at the royal couple. The police have said throw warm wishes, take photographs, but not flowers. Flowers will automatically be seen to be some sort of bomb threat. And that's the times we're living in. The skies have been closed. There's no air traffic over Copenhagen today. All vehicles as well. No traffic has been allowed in. Everyone who came to this spot had to walk. The security detail has been quite extraordinary. 1/3 of Denmark's police force is working today on this one event. You can hear the helicopters there in the air. They are security helicopters. They didn't go so far as to weld the manholes down as they would with a presidential visit, but the security has been paramount, and the Chief of Police of Denmark has made the point that he thinks everything will be more than safe. What a sight. There it is as the two wheel their way down through Copenhagen streets. We're going to take a quick break. Look at that shot. Let's let that run out before we do. When we come back from the break, more of this special parade, and then that moment as they come out onto the balcony at Amalienborg Palace.
Those sexy revealing outfits look great, but you can never find the perfect bra. You're always hassling with bra straps and annoying bra lines, and strapless bras offer little support. Introducing Silicone Nude Bra. The soft and natural silicone cups are completely strap-free, yet still give you that desirable shape and support. Plus, it will give you an added cup size. The silicone bra has special adhesive inside cups that comfortably shape and lift your bust, whilst the front closure gives you extra cleavage. Nude Bra is quick and easy to apply, painless and simple to remove. And with Nude Bra's regenerative adhesive, it's completely reusable. Silicone Nude Bra looks and feels completely natural. Nude Bra is available in 3 cup sizes and moulds to comfortably support any shape. Get your Nude Bra now from Lifeglow for only $59.95 plus $9.95 postage and handling. Call now on 1800 707 607 or visit lifeglow.com.au. Also available exclusively from Priceline stores and Priceline pharmacies.
Hey, you! Yes, you! What are you doing now? Why aren't you searching for more at adultmatchmaker.com.au? Become one of the thousands of people logging on to meet men, women and couples for fun and good times. We have over 100,000 members searching for love, relationships or something more. What are you waiting for? It's free to join and search thousands of profiles and pictures. Go on, don't just sit there. Do it now. adultmatchmaker.com.au.
Buy a Daikin split system wall or floor air conditioner this winter and you'll think it's Christmas. That's because Daikin will give you winter reward vouchers redeemable for something special at any Myer store.
Pointer Air Conditioning, Prospect and Lonsdale.
One-to-one SMS chat. Get to know great people by SMS. Just send the word flirt to 188 1000 and you can start straight away. So SMS the word flirt to 188 1000. 188 1000.
Getting married? Have your special day filmed by the professionals at Focal Image Productions. For more information, visit our website or call us on 8177 1778.
Looking for a one-to-one textual relationship? Meet cool, flirty and friendly party girls by simply texting the word CONNECT to 1887578. It's so much fun. Text CONNECT to 1887578.
Hello, my gorgeous little darlings. How are we today?
To truly grow, you must embrace life.
One day, they'll be the biggest, tastiest tomatoes and basil. They've got a long way to go before they're this good. Divine.
Tomato and basil, Philadelphia. A little taste of heaven.
They need their beauty sleep.
Tonight's all-star thriller. A murder mystery with Sean Connery, Harvey Keitel and Wesley Snipes. From Michael Crichton's Rising Sun.
We have a murder here.
An unbelievable crime.
I want to solve it.
They're not supposed to solve.
When something looks too good to be true, then it's not true.
Trust no one.
Never underestimate your opponent. Are you on the take? Don't lose your temper.
Suspect everyone.
I don't lose my temper.
Rising Sun, tonight, 8:30 on 7.
Welcome back. Join us as the royal couple are making their way from Copenhagen Cathedral to Amalienborg Palace, where they're going to be appearing on the balcony, just as they did back on October 8th when they announced the engagement. And there, the official wedding kiss from the balcony. Lena Christensen is with me from the Trade Commission of Denmark. She's been helping us out with some detailed history and some translation today. There's been some amazing and remarkable presents that have been delivered to the couple. A lot of headlines and highlights over the official Australian gift to the young couple, 9 trees and that special plaque that the Australian Governor-General, Michael Jeffrey, made in a presentation 3 nights ago. But the people of Denmark have brought forward presents as well. Lena.
Yes, the people of Denmark have a fine tradition of congratulating members of the royal household with a people's gift on the occasion of a royal wedding. And the gift that the people have chosen for Mary Donaldson and Frederik is a set of Flora Danica, which is probably the world's most prestigious dinner service. It's one of the last luxury services still in existence from the 18th century. It consists of more than 700 hand-painted wild plants, and the process of production is unchanged for more than 200 years. The Flora Danica was first commissioned on behalf of King Christian VII of Denmark for creation at the Royal Copenhagen Porcelain Manufactory, which was founded in 1775. The people's gift to the royal couple is a Flora Danica dinner service with plates and cups bearing the young couple's new monogram, which of course is designed by Queen Margaret II, Crown Prince Frederik's mother.
I know that one of the special gifts they got this week was a convertible car from Saab, a brand new Saab convertible, luxury 4-seater valued at close to $100,000. Pretty clever little bit of ambush marketing there from Saab. I noticed that Volvo vehicles have basically sponsored the royal wedding today with, they've supplied the majority of the fleet apart from the Rolls-Royce Spirits that we were talking about earlier. But here we go as the security detail break into a trot along with the horses as they're moving towards Amalienborg.
Of course, another lovely present that the couple is getting is Gråsten Palace, which is the former summer residence of the Queen, the current Queen's mother, Queen Ingrid. And it was Crown Prince Frederik's very special relationship with Queen Ingrid, which makes this gift significant to him to receive. So the Gråsten Palace is in southern Denmark and was built in 1759.
It's not a bad gift, is it? Here's a palace, kids.
Nice little palace by a beautiful lake. And
do we know where they will live and what they will be, where they'll be basing themselves after their honeymoon?
Yes, they'll be basing themselves in a wing of the Fredensborg Palace, which is where they're on their way to after they wave at the balcony for the reception and for the dance.
Okay.
So they'll be based there.
Now we are going to head back down to the Opera House. Our reporter Cassie Hamer is down there. I think she's with the Danish consul. Cassie.
That's
right, Rezo. Jürgen Mollengard is the host of tonight's proceedings, and we're just going to have a chat with him. Jürgen, can you tell me, what are your impressions of the wedding?
I would say that everything went even better than I hoped for. It has been a beautiful evening, and we have so many people there, Danes and Australians are so happy that we have this is worth everything. I mean, we have worked for this party. We started before Christmas, so and now 5 months later, the result is here. It's good. I think it's a beautiful evening.
And is it going to be a good love match, do you think?
I'm 100% sure about that. You saw today how the Crown Prince was crying, and it's so clearly for me that he loves his new wife, and all the Danes are so happy. So it's beautiful.
That's great. Thanks, Jürgen. Well, there you go, Rezo. It sounds like it is a match made in heaven. Back to you.
Cassie, thank you for that. We should note also, as the parade makes its way through to Amalienborg Palace, that the crowd there has expanded enormously. Before the wedding, the wet conditions had kept them away. Well, I can tell you now, I'm just getting the figures updated and given to me, that the numbers are now into the hundreds of thousands that they'd originally expected. 1 Dane in 10. Approximately 500,000 people were expected to turn out today, and it looks like that has happened.
And at least half of them have got Australian flags.
Haven't they yet? That's right. It's a beautiful image to watch the sea of flags waving away there. Of course, the Danish flag is reputed to be one of the oldest in the world, waving proudly beside the Australian flag, which perhaps is one of the youngest. What a great union it's been. Interesting spin-offs too, we might note, financially for our two countries. I know that in the Financial Review this week, they've had some features on the pick-up in trade between the two countries. In fact, over the last 2 years, Australian wines have been going down a treat in Denmark. They've now moved to our 7th biggest export destination for Australian wines. Doesn't stop there. We're also talking about Australian cheeses, food products, Aboriginal art. The ties getting stronger and stronger. Spin-offs, financial spin-offs and benefits in both communities.
And of course, Queen Margaret has ordered especially that Vegemite and Tim Tams, amongst a few other special delicacies, are going to be imported, especially for Mary, so she will not get homesick.
And by royal decree.
By royal decree.
Is that right? Yes. We're allowed to eat Tim Tams by royal decree. Well, that's my kind of royal decree.
You should have your Vegemite first.
Now we can go back to Tim Verstegen, our reporter in the crowd there, to get a measure of the mood and the feeling down there at street level. Tim.
Yeah, Chris, well, an amazing atmosphere here. I'm stood in front of the town hall where people are already gathering to get their spot to watch all the events on the big screen. And would you believe it? More Aussies, yet more Aussies here. What do you reckon?
Great. It's absolutely great here. Atmosphere's awesome. Here with a few Aussie boys and a few little Danes. It's unreal to be here, actually.
Now, Sean, you had a few beers for breakfast.
Definitely, mate. A few crownies. The wedding beer. The wedding beer.
Mum, I'm sure you didn't bring him up this way. Seriously, I guess it's a moment in history for you to witness, yeah?
Oh, it's just so cool to be here. Just loving it. Yeah, I think we've been fortunate to be able to be here for the wedding.
And how are the Danes treating you guys?
Well, actually, the Danish, they love us here. Everyone's really friendly. There's a lot of flags. I think there's more flags here than in Australia at the moment.
Yeah.
And
it's awesome just being in a different country and seeing so many Australian flags.
Really good. Right, guys, well, look, we'll let you get back to your spot to see the big event.
Definitely.
Just about to happen. Only moments away. We're all looking forward to it. Back to you, Chris.
Tim Verstegen there down with the people in the crowd there that has suddenly miraculously appeared and bolstered what were pretty thin numbers before the ceremony began. We've talked a lot about Mary Donaldson and the Australian aspect of all of this wedding day. We haven't talked much about the young Crown Prince Frederik himself. 35 years old, born May 26, 1968. He's the eldest son of Queen Margrethe and the Royal Prince Consort Henrik. And some would say that the Prince has finally matured. He had a pretty boisterous 20s. Went out with lingerie models and some pop starlets. Thoroughly enjoyed himself travelling the world. But there was another side to him as well. His biographer, his official biographer, Inga Hoy, says, according to the Australian newspaper this week, that the Prince is an unusually determined character. He didn't particularly do all that well at school, but he went to university and he studied hard. He studied politics and law, and he graduated and became the first member of the Danish royal family to graduate from university with a degree. He was a frogman in the Royal Navy, which is extraordinarily difficult to get into. Some 3,000 applications the year he was trying. Only a handful got through. Because of his time there, he developed a curious nickname that they attached to him. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly. I'm sure Lena will pick me up if it's not, but it's Pingo.
Oh, that's quite
close.
Right.
Pingo,
Yes.
which apparently means in Danish penguin. A reference there to his frog
It's very
work.
affectionate.
If that's the term, I'm sure it's not.
It's an affectionate term.
It's an affectionate term.
Yes.
He's a pilot. He's also spent 4 long months dog sledding in Greenland. He has 2 tattoos, a shark and a Nordic symbol. I don't know where, I didn't ask. I really want to know. He's said to be a fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers as well. They certainly seem to be enjoying themselves at the concert the other night that Powderfinger gave in that special Australian-themed concert that was staged for the two of them just this week.
Yes, we have a couple of new stamps coming out with the new Crown Prince and Crown Princess on. They'll be released today, and they're made especially with Postværk Færøer and Post Greenland and Post Denmark. Of course, the 3 countries that make up the so-called Danish Commonwealth.
Okay. I shouldn't imagine that would be the last thing to have their 2 heads printed on in the next few years. I think we're going to see a lot of this couple. We're going to have to take a short break as the royal couple approach Amalienborg Palace. We'll be back in just a couple of moments.
On 7 News, South Australia's chameleons of the deep. Now you see them, now you don't. Overfishing, pollution. Is it too late for the giant cuttlefish, or can we save them from disappearing altogether? On 7 News.
Hello, my gorgeous little darlings. How are we today? To truly grow, you must embrace life. One day, they'll be the biggest, tastiest tomatoes and basil. But they've got a long way to go before they're this good. Divine.
Tomato and basil Philadelphia, a little taste of heaven.
They need their beauty sleep.
Guys and girls who love to flirt are waiting for you now at Text Flirt. Just SMS the word chat to 1881141. It's Australia's hottest flirt and chat service. Have cheeky fun, steamy pics. You'll be rolling on the floor laughing. You'll be drooling. It doesn't hurt to flirt with like-minded guys and girls. SMS chat to 1881141. Store it in your mobile now. See you later at Text Flirt.
Looking for a one-to-one textual relationship? Meet cool, flirty and friendly party girls by simply texting the word CONNECT to 1887578. It's so much fun. Text CONNECT to 1887578.
Hotspot, Swarovski, Ladro, Moorcroft, Lilliput Lane. For a wide range of giftwares for all occasions, Gallery Gifts, where the staff are passionate about their products and it shows. Gallery Gifts, Adelaide Arcade, Grenfell Street and City. From minor adjustments to entire made-to-measure garments, Tailors of Distinction offer a complete made-to-measure and alteration service that is a cut above. Open 6 days, the experts at Tailors of Distinction can tend to all of your tailoring needs. Tailors of Distinction, 246 Unley Road. Install see-through weather protection blinds to your balcony, deck or patio with Skyworld's lifestyle-enhancing PVC blinds. Skyworld have over 10 years' experience and offer factory-direct prices and no obligation quotes. Skyworld PVC blinds, the original and clearly the best. Do you need dentures, adjustments or replacements? Then you need dentures for you. You don't have to wait long for new dentures. Have great-looking teeth from this to this within 24 hours. Call Dentures for You 8212 8220. Mile End or City. Hotspot, bringing quality products to your home.
Buy a Dakin split system wall or floor air conditioner this winter and you'll think it's Christmas. That's because Dakin will give you winter reward vouchers redeemable for something special at any Myer store.
Pointer Air Conditioning, Prospect and Lonsdale.
Getting married? Have your special day filmed by the professionals at Focal Image Productions. For more information, visit our website or call us on 8177 1778.
Guys and girls who love to flirt are waiting for you now at Text Flirt. Just SMS the word chat to 188 1141. It's Australia's hottest flirt and chat service. See you later at Text Flirt.
On Today Tonight, SA's federal MP, her boyfriend and the business trip.
Disgusted that taxpayer funds had been used.
The paper trail and the whistleblower. And he's a suspect in a murder case. On Today Tonight.
And here we are, we return on these beautiful shots as the sun has come out shining on these two as they make their way to Amalienborg Palace, winding their way through Copenhagen streets. Hasn't Mary Donaldson perfected the royal way? There's been a lot written about that in the last week. Part of her deportment lessons, I'm sure. Looks fantastic. The city has dressed itself up. One of the few signs, I've got to say, that Copenhagen apparently has really shown in recent times of the build-up and excitement to this wedding. Reporters that have gone there, including our own, have all commented that it's been very hard to find what would happen in most other countries in relation to something like this. You'd expect tacky souvenir after tacky souvenir, from tea towels to chocolate bars with their faces on. Didn't happen in Denmark. Lena, is there any reason for that? Why there's such a restraint from the Danish people?
I think people feel that that would cheapen the royal couple and the whole royal experience. I don't think Danes generally don't like cheap souvenir type things. As you may know, Denmark is famous for its design and its quality products, and I certainly think they see the royalty in line with this. They do have, as I mentioned before, the stamps, and they've also got a commemorative coin coming out. It's the normal 20 crown coin, which will feature Mary Donaldson and Frederik's profiles on one side and Queen Margaret II's profile on the other side. There'll also be a 200 crown version of that. But these are ordinary coins that will go into circulation, and those are the types of things that that people will enjoy about the marriage, not a tacky souvenir. Yes.
Okay, thanks, Lena, for putting us in our places there. I won't ask for any tacky souvenirs then.
That's good.
I want to go back to Mary Donaldson as she sits there. What would be going through her mind right now as she sits in the back of this carriage and watches hundreds of thousands of people she doesn't know, she's never met, who are adoring her from the sidelines? It was a feeling that she had to encounter and grapple with back in October 8th, that date we've referred to, the engagement announcement when the world finally found out these two were going to get married. It was a wonderful moment in that documentary that Channel 7 broadcast on Wednesday. They had a camera with Mary as she was inside the palace, Amalienborg Palace, and the door opened up. And there outside were thousands and thousands of people packing the square beneath her, and she literally had her breath stolen. You could see it on her face. What was she feeling? What was she thinking? Well, she told us in that documentary, and we have those words. We'll take a listen to them now.
To see the combination of Danish and Australian flags, you know, flying energetically was just such a beautiful picture. And that feeling of warmth and acceptance and joy that people were feeling as we were feeling.
There you go, they're the words. Mary Donaldson, she was referring there to that moment of seeing the sea of faces and flags, all smiling, all waving back at her from that balcony. And today, the same thing. She goes past kilometres of them.
And the coach has just entered the King's Square, which is a very old place in Denmark. And we are now seeing the angle from the Royal Danish Theatre, which was built in 1748 by Frederik V. Many famous Danes have been associated with this theatre. Most of the famous poets and writers of Denmark have had plays performed here, including Holberg, Oehlenschläger, and of course H.C. Andersen, for whom a 20-year anniversary of his birth will be celebrated throughout the world next year in 2005.
Is it Hans Christian Andersen?
Hans Christian
His 200th
Andersen.
anniversary.
Yes,
Yeah.
of his birth. Yes, that's right. It's now a multimedia stage, really, with both music, ballet, opera, and theatre, of course, being performed here. And it's always been open to all the people, even though it's called the Royal Theatre. So, a very historic and important building in Copenhagen.
I'm trying to think of, you mentioned there Hans Christian Andersen, obviously one of the great names that Denmark has given to the world. I'm wondering if Tasmania has given much back to Denmark. I'm thinking of famous Tasmanians. There was Errol Flynn, Ricky Ponting. But apart from that, I think Mary Donaldson might be about to become the most famous Tasmanian.
Well, she's probably the best gift you could ever give Denmark. So we don't worry about the rest. They're coming now up to Amalienborg Palace very shortly, which of course is the monarchy's winter residence. It actually consists of 4 palaces, which is planned around an octagonal courtyard with a sculpture of Frederik V again in the middle. And the royal family moved into Amalienborg Palace after the original palace, Christiansborg, burnt down in 1794. Christiansborg now houses the Danish Parliament after it was rebuilt, of course. So.
Okay, we're seeing some pictures there of some fairly heavy security. We touched on this earlier. Let's have a listen to what our man on the street had to say about that. Tim Verstegen, our reporter.
Chris, we're more than a kilometre away from the cathedral, and look at the people here. Now, no one knows exactly how many have turned out today, but they're estimating anywhere from 250,000 to up to 1 million people. Now, bearing in mind, there's only about 5 million people in the entire country. I mean, that's got to be a massive turnout. Now, you might be able to see the police dotted in the background. I've got to say there's a very relaxed attitude to crowd control here. There's no guns of the uniformed police, and that sort of relaxed handling seems to have infected the crowd as well. We've been all over the city today. There's no trouble. Everyone's just having a good time. It's, from what I've seen at least, it's a relaxed and really fun atmosphere. Great place to be.
There you go. That's interesting points there from Tim. Very low presence in the security. As he mentions, no sidearms, no visible signs of guns. As he said, a flow-on effect keeps people calm. It's winding its way now towards the palace. From the palace, from the Amalienborg Palace, they go to Frederiksenborg Palace, if I pronounce that properly.
Frederiksenborg Palace, yes.
Now there will be the reception. There were 750 people in the church, but only 400 have made it through to the reception, the banquet there. And what an occasion that's going to be. They're telling us in the publicity given to us by the royal household that the 13 people will sit at the top table, the 2 families concerned. 13 people will sit at the top table, and they will eat with solid gold cutlery. Everyone else, all the other 300 87 guests there will eat with silver, solid silver cutlery. Interestingly, you can't wash either the gold or the silver cutlery in a washing machine. It has to be done by hand. And they've had to employ people to do that. They're telling us it's going to take a week. Another useless fact, but interesting stuff nevertheless. That's going to be some banquet. That will be their final moment for the evening. They will enjoy that time, and then the couple will head off on their honeymoon. Now, the honeymoon is essentially a trip on the royal yacht off to Greenland. Do we know much more about that, Lena? Is the trip isn't going to end in Greenland, is it? It's going to sail around from there to some other islands. Tell us about those.
Specifically to Faroe Islands, which is the other sort of island nation within Denmark. Both of these islands have had their own government, their own rule for quite a number of years. Faroe Islands, just after Second World War, became autonomous, and Greenland got its own rule in 1974, but they still use the image of Queen Margaret II as their queen, and they still have very close ties to Denmark, both culturally and financially.
Well, we are almost there. We're going to take one quick break, and I promise you that by the time we come back, the couple will be at Amalienborg Palace. Join us in a few moments.
Australian Caravan Company is your ticket to adventure for quick getaways, coast to coast or across the country. Family and fun-filled holidays can be yours in a Jayco van from Australian Caravan Company. Australian Caravan Company, your ticket to adventure.
Buy a Daikin split system wall or floor air conditioner this winter and you'll think it's Christmas. That's because Daikin will give you winter reward vouchers redeemable for something special at any Myer store.
Pointer Air Conditioning, Prospect and Lonsdale.
SMS Chat is here. It's the easy way to get in touch with fun people just like you. Just SMS the word KISS to 1881046. Store that number in your mobile now. 1881046. Now you can chat anytime and anywhere. So why wait? Don't just sit there. 1881046. Let your fingers do the talking. SMS the word KISS to 1881046. It's so much fun.
National Insurance Company writes off thousands of water-damaged rugs.
Thrown away the wet ones, and now I've got the rug bargains of a lifetime. $1,700 of real handmade quality. Same quality, water damage, $300, and it's brand new. For these final days, not only at least 77% off remaining water damaged rugs, I'll even give an extra 10% off to quit the lot.
Plus 10,000 other rugs, all up to 85% off. Goodyear Rugs, this long weekend only.
Hey, you! Yes, you! What are you doing now? Why aren't you searching for more at adultmatchmaker.com.au? Become one of the thousands of people logging on to meet men, women and couples for fun and good times. We have over 100,000 members searching for love, relationships or something more. What are you waiting for? It's free to join and search thousands of profiles and pictures. Go on, don't just sit there. Do it now. adultmatchmaker.com.au.
The response has been huge. The free service offer has been extended on all City engines. City Dismantlers offer free services for the duration of your warranty on all engines, transmissions and gearboxes. All units are built here in our state-of-the-art workshops by qualified technicians, so you know you're getting a great product at a great price. So you get a City-certified engine, transmission or gearbox and we'll throw in up to 2 years of free services. Hurry, this incredible offer ends soon. City Dismantlers.
No matter who you are, whether it be for a wedding, special event or school formal, let Ferrari make you look your best. At Ferrari, book this month and pay from only $49, regardless of when you need it. Ferrari formal wear, a cut above the rest.
Getting married? Have your special day filmed by the professionals at Focal Image Productions. For more information, visit our website or call us on 8177 1778.
Well, there you go. We promised that we would have arrived at Amalienborg Palace by the time we came back from that ad break. Indeed, they have. Mary and Crown Prince Frederik have just alighted the open-top carriage as the Royal Hussars Guards move away. The crowd now watching them as they go inside. And the bridesmaids just sorting out that long train. I know that tonight, as they head off to that reception, the royal family have made a very strong point of trying to include Australian touches. The food, last week at the last reception on Wednesday night, cooked by celebrated Sydney chef Luke Mangan, entertainment provided by Australian performers. And again tonight, Australian performers will appear. The Tank Stream Quartet will be playing. I read one interview with one member of that quartet this week who said, "We don't normally do weddings, but in this case, we'll make an exception." They've flown over there and they'll be performing. Inside this palace now, Princess Mary will be ascending the stairs and heading up toward that balcony. She did the same thing back on October 8 when the engagement was announced. A little bit more significant now. They're married, and this is the moment the crowd's been waiting for. What's going through her mind? She told us in that documentary. Let's take a listen.
It's hard to put words on how I felt coming out onto the balcony. It, in one way, was a bit like an out-of-body experience, because these people were there to congratulate us.
An out-of-body experience, she called it. I'm sure it would be. Imagine that feeling, seeing those people waving back at you. I want to go back to the Danish Prime Minister, Anders Fogh Rasmussen, who said, before he toasted Mary and Prince Frederik on Wednesday night, some wonderful words about Mary Donaldson. I've got a quote here. He says, "You are a woman with a special radiance, bound in considerable human and intellectual qualities." He said, "I have no doubt that you possess whatever is needed to fill and leave your mark on the role you are to take on for our country, the role of a real princess of our times." Unquote. A real princess of our times. And therein perhaps lies the challenge for this young couple. We watch with much sadness, I guess, the British royal family implode, in a sense, in the late 80s and throughout the 90s with the destruction of Princess Di and Prince Charles's marriage. And we hope that this one, obviously, will fare much better. And all the signs are that it will. Everyone saying this couple perfectly suited to each other and obviously very in love. And Mary Donaldson making many statements to the press in the last week in interviews she's given, that she doesn't just see this role as there for the fun of it and there to enjoy the regal trappings. She's actually relishing the opportunity to do some good work. She said she wants to work in several charities and particularly work with the intellectually disabled. I think the doors are about to open. The people have seen some movement behind the curtains. As the camera focuses, and there it is.
This is, of course, a great tradition. Appearing on the balcony happens every time there's a royal event, be it a wedding or a silver anniversary or a birthday or a funeral. The appearance on the balcony is traditional fare, and the people are always gathered on Amalienborg Palace courtyard to view it and wave their flags.
Is there any, obviously in the last decade here, there's been a growing but suppressed feeling of republicanism, a push to get the republic up. Is there any similar feeling in Denmark? Lena, is that something that they'd ever consider?
Not as far as I know. It has never been publicly stated that anyone, even the most leftish political parties, which have had quite considerable power in Denmark since the 70s, now fading in the last 5 years or so, but none of them have ever stated that they wish to see the end of the monarchy. And that's quite remarkable, and that really testifies to the popularity of the royal family.
And you see something like this today, and in fact rejuvenates perhaps faith in the monarchy.
Certainly.
Popular couple taking on a popular tradition.
Yes, and if people can see a good tradition like that continuing with great representation throughout the world, and let's face it, it's good for the economy too, to have diplomatic presence like that around the world. And look at the attention that is on Denmark now, from Australia and from the rest of the world as well. It's a very good thing for a country to have, yes.
Tell us about this, where we are now. Amalienborg is a series of 4 palaces, isn't it, around this square?
Well,
is this a public area that anybody can walk in and out of, or they just open it up today, do you know?
It is a public area, yes. Anyone can walk in and out any time. The monarch lives here in winter, and there's a French sculpture in the middle of Frederik V.
Yeah, we just saw a shot of that.
Was the person who constructed Amalienborg Palace on the occasion of the 300th anniversary of the coronation of Christian I, the first king of the House of Oldenburg, which is the line of royal ancestry that came before the Glücksborg family, which is the present royal line.
The Royal Danish Lifeguards, they're taking up a guard of honour just on the right of your picture. Wearing busbies. I thought that only happened in the UK.
In the background there, we can actually see a great ferry. That is because the harbour of Copenhagen is just behind the palace. And there's a special little staircase down to the water, where there are 2 wonderful little pavilions where the Queen goes to await when the royal yacht comes to pick her up. And so she just walks out her back door and the royal yacht picks her up down there.
We all love a royal yacht picking us up at the back door.
And just a little bit further up from there is a rock in the water where the Little Mermaid sits.
The famous Little Mermaid.
The little bronze sculpture, which is only 1 meter high and often a great disappointment to tourists who come from all over the world to see her.
You touched on something there I want to take up a little bit further. This royal family, the Danish royal family, are so accessible. You say that this is a public square where people can walk through and be in proximity to the royal household, but not only that, when the royal family take a walk around the city, or a bicycle ride, I think they're quite fond of, you can see them, you could reach out and touch them if you like. It's that open in Denmark.
Yes.
Is it still like that even in this post-September 11 world, or have you heard? Have they tightened restrictions there?
I haven't actually heard, I must admit. Yes. But I would be very sad to see something like that go, I must say. Yeah. I know that the Queen used to just drop down and go to the local shop and buy herself things and go back again. And I think they're about to open the doors up there on the balcony.
As the footmen struggle there with the door, trying to get that open. You know that the Queen even went down to the local cinema with the young couple end of last year to watch Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Right. Just went along, no special screening.
No.
And the 3 of them sat there and watched it. It's one of her favourite pieces of culture, J.R.R. Tolkien. She's illustrated and translated the book, as you told us earlier. I think that moment at the doors opening might be upon us.
Well, you see, that sort of thing works both ways. It makes her closer to her people, and it makes her people closer to her. And so that increases her popularity. The crowd is anxiously waiting.
Inside, I wonder? Here we are. 2 of them ready. There you have it. The cameras did pick up that kiss. I'm going to put on the record right now that we're taking Danish TV's broadcast of this. It wasn't our fault that we cut away. And she gives him a peck on the cheek, just in case the cameras did miss the first shot. Thank you, Mary Donaldson. Princess Mary Donaldson.
And she's
Well, in
keen
fact,
to show...
no. Drop the last name now. Princess Mary.
Right. She's very keen to show the Danish people how much she loves their precious prince. And she will take good care of him. And makes them very happy.
And here we go. Joined on the balcony. John Donaldson. Susan, his wife, will be in the background there somewhere with Queen Margarita.
Yes.
And the Prince Consort Henrik and Susan Moody, crime writer. Husband, wife now of John Donaldson. John Donaldson. Interviewed several times in the last few weeks. A great character. Let's hear what John Donaldson thought when he finally met Prince Frederik and got the chance to spend some time with him.
We've found Frederik to be a person who's just like any other future son-in-law. He is such a relaxed individual. He just becomes part of the family when he's around us. He cooks his own breakfast the other morning there, and in fact yesterday morning he ended up cooking Susan's breakfast, so we're very pleased to have someone who helps us out.
John Donaldson there. As the band plays. Lena, do you recognise that? Is that national anthem or unsure?
I do believe it was Advanced Australia Fair.
It was a version of Advanced Australia Fair, but I think they've tried to combine it with... Yeah.
Yes. There's Dannebrog, the Danish flag, nearly falling down from the sky again as...
What was the history? Tell us quickly the story of that flag,
well,
the world's oldest.
The Danes were facing an army and they were losing the battle, and apparently Dannebrog, the flag, came down from heaven and they took it as a sign that God was on their side, and the Danes went forth and won the battle. And ever since, Dannebrog, which is the name of that flag, has been the national flag of Denmark. So, yes.
What really happened?
More rational versions have later thought that perhaps the flag, which was being carried by one of the horsemen, amongst other flags, had simply loosened itself in the wind and came flying. Mary's giving the Prince Henrik a kiss.
A lot of love on that veranda.
Sharing it around.
There they go, as they're giving a final wave now to the crowd. We don't want to see them go back inside. Ingo and Mary.
I've heard that on the menu will be food from every state in Australia. Have you heard anything like that?
I know, as I said earlier, that they've been very careful to try and include as much Australian fare as they can. There they go, the doors closing up.
Soon.
Well, there we go. It's come to an end. That balcony moment that all of Denmark had waited for, and indeed many around Australia as well. And it was pretty good, wasn't it? Lena, that's got to have been planned to perfection, and it came true to its word. It was a wonderfully organised event, and everything seemed to go pretty much to clockwork.
Absolutely. There was nothing that went amiss there, and I'm sure it's been planned very carefully for a very long time. Also in regards to security, as you mentioned, during the coach ride through Copenhagen.
Denmark would have hoped for something like this. It's probably turned out better than they could have imagined.
I think so, yes. But we don't usually see a lot of mistakes in these sorts of events. So, yeah, people wouldn't have expected anything to go wrong. But you never know. Things do go wrong at times.
No, they didn't today. It was a perfect wedding celebration. Lena Christensen, I want to thank you for helping us out this evening.
Great pleasure.
Your contribution invaluable. That brings us to an end. What a remarkable day for the young Tasmanian Mary Donaldson. Probably the biggest of her life. That is until the next biggest event, potentially sometime in the future when she's made Queen. That will happen at some stage. Thanks for joining us here on this 7 News special presentation. We will leave it there. And thank you so much for joining us for the last couple of hours. Good night.
Here's the spot.
The Royal Wedding, proudly brought to you by LifeGlow, designed to enhance your life.
Drop-dead gorgeous hit show is a movie stealing the heartthrob.
I'm very attracted to you.
Is the one woman open to anything?
Money makes me really happy.
Paris Hilton.
This is war.
But it's Jean-Claude Van Damme. Who's about to discover playing in Vegas can be murder.
It's a real dangerous game you're playing.
Romance. Revenge.
You're one big jerk.
And the most wicked mystery yet. Las Vegas the movie. Monday, 8:30 on 7.
Hello, my gorgeous little darlings. How are we today? To truly grow, you must embrace life. One day, they'll be the biggest, tastiest tomatoes and basil. But they've got a long way to go before they're this good. Divine.
Tomato and basil, Philadelphia. A little taste of heaven.
They need their beauty sleep.
Getting married? Have your special day filmed by the professionals at Focal Image Productions. For more information, visit our website or call us on 8177 1778.
New store now open at Main North Road, Powerfield, up from Bunnings.
At the Ibanez Guitar Centre for 2 days only, this Saturday and Sunday, prices slashed throughout the store. Acoustic guitars from $169, guitar and amp packs from $269, including strap, lead, bag and lessons. 2 days only. Save hundreds on hard disc recorders, guitar books, hundreds of titles, all the popular bands. Some below cost. Saturday and Sunday only. PV 40-watt guitar amps $329. For 2 days only this Saturday and Sunday, pick up a bargain. At the Ibanez Guitar Centre, 296 Brighton Road, Brighton.
The look is elegant, always contemporary. Quality, exceptional. Classic, simple, modern. Style, universal. Designs, exclusively ours. Changing lifestyle or renovating, it's what we understand best at our newly expanded, centrally located city showroom. For a complete and impressive solution to your furniture needs, enjoy personal attention at one of the truly trusted names in the home. Mabarak Furniture, corner Curry Street and Light Square, City.
The #1 new Australian show. 3 restaurants remain. The couples think they're on the home stretch, but wait till they see what's next. Sunday, they're in for the surprise of their life with a visit from the one restaurant critic they all fear. Who is the critic they'll love to hate?
I'm getting annoyed. I really am.
Who is back for revenge? Only one person could surprise them like this.
I'm back.
My Restaurant Rules. Simon's Revenge. Sunday on 7.
Eating the food, I expected better service.
Guys and girls who love to flirt are waiting for you now at Text Flirt. Just SMS the word chat to 1881141. It's Australia's hottest flirt and chat service. Have cheeky fun. Steamy pics. You'll be rolling on the floor laughing. You'll be drooling. It doesn't hurt to flirt with like-minded guys and girls. SMS chat to 1881141. Store it in your mobile now. See you later at Text Flirt.
That's the piece. Floor stock clearance. Save up to 50%. Serious buyers only, no retailers. That's the piece. This is a genuine floor stock clearance with new stock arriving. That's the piece. 78 Unley Road, Unley.
Rod, I can't believe how well you built that.
Yeah, thanks. Because I buy all my tools, building and hardware supplies with a trade shop.
Where?
Banner Hardware. Remember the jingle?
Yeah. Oh, bet you buy it better at Banner.
Inside Hollywood. What has movie stars, fashion models, housewives, and professionals dashing off to spas and dermatologists mornings, weekends, lunchtime, anytime they can get an appointment?
I am on film and they do close-ups, and when they do, you have to really worry about what your skin looks like every day.
The secret is called microdermabrasion, and it's now the #1 non-surgical cosmetic procedure in the country.
Microdermabrasion has exploded in this country.
You know, it's really everywhere where you look. It's kind of like an exfoliator kicked up 100 notches.
Developed in Europe and brought to the U.S. in 1998, microdermabrasion uses state-of-the-art technology. Microscopic crystals, that's right, mineral crystals applied to the skin to remove dry surface cells and reveal younger skin below.
You have to get rid of the old skin in order for the new skin to really be vibrant.
If you have lines and wrinkles or uneven skin tone, and if you haven't tried microdermabrasion, you're missing out on one of the most spectacular breakthroughs in decades. Doctors are calling it instantaneous gratification and the hottest thing now in dermatology.
I am very impressed with the results that I see in my patients from microdermabrasion.
Microdermabrasion really works. But here's the catch. A full treatment often requires a series of 6 scheduled appointments. And who likes waiting for appointments? And it's expensive. Each treatment costs between $150 and $200. A series of 6, around $1,000.
I paid $750 for 5 treatments.
If that's not in your budget, listen to this. Now you can have the benefits of microdermabrasion without the cost and hassle. Introducing Youthful Essence, a personal microdermabrasion system with results like this after 1 application.
When I look in the mirror, I can't believe that there's not blemishes happening, that there's not new lines every morning. I can't believe it.
It's completely softer. I couldn't stop touching my face afterwards.
I've never used a product where I've seen results in less than 3 minutes.
You really can see something like that.
The secret of Youthful Essence is the combination of microscopic crystals in a rich, moisturizing cream, massaged over your skin with this state-of-the-art handheld applicator. This resurfacing tool creates 4,000 revitalizing microorbits per minute to safely exfoliate dead skin cells and rejuvenate your skin.
What I think the news is now is that there is a way for you to have microdermabrasion and the benefits
at home at a much reduced cost without having to make appointments with doctors or spas. I think that's the news.
The category of personal microdermabrasion never existed until we created it.
Dean and Ambi Rhodes are two of the leading creative minds in the beauty industry, owners of the hottest salon in Beverly Hills. Ambi is booked months in advance for the Academy Awards. Dean spent 3 years developing the technology in Youthful Essence. It's patent pending because of the unique combination of mineral crystals and the advanced design resurfacing tool, which delivers personal microdermabrasion. No one has ever seen anything like it before, and no one has since.
By utilizing this crystal in a very luxurious base and working it on the skin with a battery-operated resurfacing tool, we're able to reduce fine lines, wrinkles.
There's something about the technology of those little crystals taking all the little dead skin cells away, but not scraping, that it's just as buff, it's like a baby's bottom.
These women and thousands more are raving about Youthful Essence. Even celebrities like Susan Lucci.
I know the first time I used it, my husband didn't know that I used it. And he saw me right after I used it, and he said, oh, your skin just, oh, it looks so soft. And he felt it, and he said, it is so soft and so smooth.
Coming up, join Susan Lucci and get the latest Hollywood secret. You'll hear stunning news about Youthful Essence and learn why experts call it a safe and healthy alternative to laser and chemical peels with no recovery time. And don't worry, you won't be paying the $1,000 others charge for medical microdermabrasion. You'll pay less, a lot less. Finally, it's here. Youthful Essence by Susan Lucci. The complete story coming up next. America cheered when Susan Lucci won an Emmy Award in 1999 after receiving 19 nominations for her leading role in All My Children. TV Guide calls Susan unequivocally the most famous soap opera character in the history of daytime TV, and she's also starred in television movies and Broadway musicals. Susan Lucci has been offered endorsement opportunities by the largest beauty companies in the world, but in skincare, she's turned them all down. With Youthful Essence, she's putting her name and reputation at stake because finally, she's found a product that works.
Hello, I'm Susan Lucci. You've heard the expression, diamonds are a girl's best friend. Well, I think crystals are a girl's best friend. That's right, crystals, ground soft like sugar. They polish, exfoliate, and resurface your skin. That's why Youthful Essence is such a breakthrough. It allows me to exfoliate the dead cells from the surface of my skin and reveal the younger-looking skin below. It's microdermabrasion at home, personal microdermabrasion, and I love it. Created by two of the hottest cosmetologists in the country, Dean and Ambi Rhodes, owners of an exclusive celebrity-packed day spa in Beverly Hills. Ambi and Dean, you really have created this completely new, this breakthrough skin procedure. And we're talking about exfoliating the skin with crystals. Can you explain exactly what exfoliation is and how these crystals work?
Well, personal microdermabrasion is the finest form of exfoliation. And it's really resurfacing the skin, reducing the appearance of fine lines, reducing the appearance of enlarged pores. At the same time, it leaves your skin dewy, fresh, and youthful. Your makeup goes on so smooth.
I must say, the cream itself is something that I just fell in love with. First of all, it smells beautiful. It has such a pretty look to it. And the crystals really do feel like sugar.
It's really about the crystal. It has such a unique property, and we've put it into an incredibly nourishing base of cream, and the cream contains antioxidants, naturally derived ingredients, and this crystal, which is just so unique to the product. Almost looks like diamonds.
Oh, thousands of diamonds on your
Yes,
face.
it does kind of sparkle.
I love the way that my face feels. Not only looks, I love the way my face feels when I use Youthful Essence.
It gives me more self-confidence. I always feel younger and fresher after I use it.
When I tell my friends that I'm using this cream, they say to me, oh, you don't need to use a cream. Your skin looks great. I'm like, well, that's why, because I'm using this.
It feels good. It feels like a facial massage. What we'll do is just dip the foam applicator into the resurfacing cream. I'll just dot the forehead, nose, cheeks, and chin. Turn it on.
Smells good.
And then we'll just work in circular strokes all throughout.
So I do a dot on the forehead, a dot on the nose, a dot on each cheek.
We'll start on clean, dry skin.
Yes. How does that feel?
Very invigorating.
Oh, good.
I really kind of looked at it a little bit and thought, wow, this is kind of cool.
And it's the action of the resurfacing tool with the crystal that's doing the polishing.
It's very nice, yeah. It's easy and it's nice.
Wow. Feels great.
It can even be slipped into whatever skincare you happen to be using. That's the really great thing about it as well. It simply becomes the exfoliation procedure for whatever treatment or whatever system you happen to be using.
It is the most convenient little thing. It's like this big. It's not heavy. You know, works on batteries. You just dip it and you go, nee. I mean, it's not hard to do.
I know the truth is you really need the resurfacing tool to distribute it evenly over all your skin.
The resurfacing tool safely delivers the crystals evenly throughout. It's like a polish, a great polish to remove that outermost cellular debris. And just underneath that, we have such a glow that was maybe we didn't even know it before.
After the first time of using Youthful Essence, you glow.
After just one use, you are going to notice more hydration. You're going to notice a smoother appearance. My skin looks a lot smoother and the pores are much smaller also. The pore size has actually diminished and the skin just looks so much more hydrated, don't you think?
It does. I think there's a lot of potential there.
Smooth, hydrated.
My skin feels very nice and soft and smooth.
It feels wonderful.
The fine lines here,
Yeah,
it's
it's
amazing.
great. So after a week, I'll have like skin like when I was 12.
Absolutely.
I know you can use the cream and with the resurfacing tool anywhere you like to get smoother looking skin, younger looking skin to get that glow.
Elbows, arms, knees, the throat, décolleté, really head to toe. It's just a wonderful way to deliver these mineral crystals that are just so unique to Youthful Essence.
I know they used to say diamonds are a girl's best friend, but I think crystals are now a girl's best friend.
Crystals are definitely a girl's best friend.
People often ask me if I dash off to European spas or get facials every week. Hardly. When I'm taping, I'm up before 5 and home late for dinner with a family to manage and other time commitments. But I do care deeply about my skin. My skin has always been super sensitive, so I'm very cautious with new products, especially those that involve exfoliation. What's amazing about Youthful Essence is that it does more than just exfoliate. It resurfaces and polishes the skin, yet I have none of the irritation or redness that I'd expect. Just a beautiful softness and glow.
My parents thought that I did get microdermabrasion. I'd been talking to my mom about it, saying that I felt that I needed to do something immediately, and she kept saying that she knew I was getting microdermabrasion or getting chemical peels, and I wasn't getting either of them. I was just using Youthful Essence.
Women, no matter what age they are concerned. There are girls in high school concerned about their skin. There are great-grandmothers concerned about their skin. That's never going to change. And what does change is the way that we can keep our skin younger and healthier.
If someone wants the benefits of microdermabrasion and wants to do it in the privacy of their own home, a product like Youthful Essence could be of great benefit.
The results of using Youthful Essence on my skin were stunning. After just one treatment, I noticed softer, more glowing skin with a beautiful, even texture. And you can get Youthful Essence too. It's simple, it's easy to use, and the results are magical and fast.
Would you like to take a dramatic step and start to give your skin the youthful essence it once had when you were younger? Last year, nearly 1 million people tried microdermabrasion, paying up to $1,000 per series, some spending $4,000 a year. Now you can get the benefits of microdermabrasion at home with Youthful Essence by Susan Lucci, and you'll pay a lot less. The Youthful Essence system includes the vitamin-enriched resurfacing cream with mineral crystals that are pure, safe, and perfectly sized to gently exfoliate your skin. In salons and doctors' offices, machines that cost over $10,000 spray and vacuum mineral crystals over your skin. In Youthful Essence, the magic is done by an amazing advance in design called the resurfacing tool, which delivers 4,000 microorbits per minute. This small handheld device has a unique sponge applicator with tiny pores that hold the crystals. Turn it on, and the crystals ever so gently clear away the top layer of dead skin cells, revealing fresh, glowing skin below. But you won't pay $10,000 for this machine, and you won't pay $1,000 for microdermabrasion. If Youthful Essence were only $600 or $400 or even $200, you'd be getting a bargain. Now listen to this amazing special offer. When you call now, you pay only $199.75 for Youthful Essence. That's less than $80 for the resurfacing cream and less than $120 for the resurfacing tool. But act now during this exclusive introductory offer and receive the handheld resurfacing tool absolutely free. You now pay only 2 easy payments of $39.95 for the complete Youthful Essence system. You get a complete system of personal microdermabrasion for less than the cost of 1 treatment in a salon. Remember, it's the polishing action of the resurfacing tool at 4,000 microorbits per minute, which allows the Youthful Essence crystals to perform their deep, effective exfoliation. And it's yours absolutely free, batteries included.
What's great about Youthful Essence is that anyone can afford it, anyone can use it and get the real benefits of microdermabrasion right at home.
Youthful Essence works easily with any skincare system you're now using. It can also help soften those overlooked areas, like your hands, elbows, chest and feet. It's amazing.
I just knew this was a winner.
Use Youthful Essence just a few minutes a day, 2 to 3 times a week, and you can resurface and polish your skin, help erase fine lines and more.
With Youthful Essence, I really feel that it's changed the texture of my skin.
And by calling now, you'll join Susan Lucci's Crystals Are a Girl's Best Friend Club. You'll conveniently receive a fresh supply of the resurfacing cream, plus 2 new sponge applicators every 60 days, so you can have soft, smooth, glowing skin without interruption. As a club member, you lock in Susan's special offer of only $39.95 per month. There's no obligation, and you can cancel at any time. And our 30-day money-back guarantee is now being extended to 60 days, so you have even more time to see results.
So now we offer a risk-free 60-day money-back guarantee on every order of Youthful Essence. Or if you're not delighted for any reason, just send it back for a refund, even if the jar is used up and empty.
There's no question that a 60-day guarantee makes this offer really valuable.
Youthful Essence. Only 2 easy payments of $39.95 when you call in the next 15 minutes, because the resurfacing tool is free. The sponge applicators are free. The batteries, free. And we'll even add 1 more free gift. It's the Cleansing Facial Wash, designed specifically to work with Youthful Essence. It cleanses beautifully, it's ultra-light, and it accentuates that sought-after healthy glow.
And I just could feel my skin, and it was so soft. I couldn't believe it. I hadn't felt that in many years.
Be smart and take advantage of this offer. Stop worrying about fine lines and a dull complexion. Get excited about showing a fresh new face to the world with Youthful Essence. Call 1-800-556605 now.
Recently, I met with a group of women who were among the first to use Youthful Essence. These are just real women who, like me, don't like to wait around for results and know something special when they find it, like Youthful Essence.
I was like, wow, I really need to use this product. It feels great. It takes a couple minutes. It's as fast as washing your face.
And I'll just do it just because I love the way it feels and the way it looks, just right when I'm done, and the way the skin feels.
Use it in the morning, you kind of get your day started. It's like working out, you know, you get up there and you get a glow about you, you get out of the shower and you do. And you can feel instantaneously different.
The crystals are really the key, but you can't really apply the cream without the resurfacing tool. So I am giving the customer the tool to be sure that they get the whole package, and then they'll continue to use it and enjoy it and get the results that we've all been talking about.
Thrilling is a very good word to describe it. Put it on, and all of a sudden, the week has been washed away.
Well, you look wonderful.
Thank you.
You really look wonderful. I mean, I know that's how I felt the first time when I used it and rinsed off the crystals and looked in the mirror. I thought, wow.
And felt your skin.
And felt my skin. And actually, my husband didn't know that I had finally tried it. And he just said, oh, your skin looks so beautiful. And he felt it and he said, it's so smooth. He said it with his Austrian accent. Oh, it's smooth.
Seeing Susan, who uses Youthful Essence and has amazing skin, really reassured me that that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm starting young and that I can continue to use it. And hopefully when I reach her age, you know, I won't look as beautiful as she does because she's just gorgeous, but my skin could look as beautiful as Susan's.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. Finally, it has happened to me right in front of my face.
It's the latest thing, the buzz, microdermabrasion. Young actors, models, and professionals are trading in their power lunches for this power peel. Even housewives and grandmothers are sneaking into spas and paying $1,000 for treatments. That's a lot of money, and the results are only temporary. That's why Youthful Essence by Susan Lucci is the hottest new form of microdermabrasion, because it costs less and the results are long-lasting.
Youthful Essence is so revolutionary because no one has come up with anything that you can do at home. You have to go in, you have to pay very high prices to get it done, and you have to do a series, and you have to go in, something like 10 times. Who has time for that in this day and age? I mean, we're all working and, you know, very busy, and this you can do at home before you go to bed, in the morning, whenever you feel like it. It's so convenient.
Youthful Essence is patent pending because the combination of mineral crystals and the handheld resurfacing tool buffs away dead cells while smoothing surface lines and polishing your skin.
As we get older, the top layer of our skin, which is composed of dead skin cells, thickens. And as that top layer thickens, less light is reflected from the skin.
The skin constantly is a living, dying process. We have these uppermost cells that are dead, dry, and they're just accumulating on the surface. By using a product like Youthful Essence, we're able to just polish that away, to remove it. And just below it is this fresh, beautiful, dewy skin that maybe was never there before.
Youthful Essence gives your skin immediate results after one application. Your skin brightens. The appearance of fine lines is reduced.
When I look at my skin right when I rinse it off, my pores look smaller, my skin looks tighter.
With regular use, Youthful Essence continues to clear away the naturally dying cells, so your skin stays fresh, polished, and youthful.
We're hydrating and nourishing the skin, and we're also polishing. So there are really a lot of different benefits kind of all rolled into one.
Plus, it's fun. You know, you take 5 minutes for yourself, and you've pampered yourself, and you've done something really good for yourself. It is truly a spa treatment at home, only it's more than that.
You can slip this into whatever skincare system you happen to be using. So it doesn't compete with other products. It becomes the exfoliation step for whatever product or whatever system you happen to be using.
I just gently move it at whatever speed I want to and wherever on my face I want to move it, and my neck. And sometimes I do the backs of my hands. It's very comfortable. I'm very happy with it. It's a wonderful way to give myself a treatment every morning in the shower.
The convenience, the ease, what it does for our souls, our hearts, our sense of being.
And Youthful Essence really does help you then to put your best face
Yeah,
forward.
to like not even just your skin. It becomes almost a whole catapult to, you know, just a sense of well-being.
Even if you have bad days and you look good, you can kind of adjust accordingly.
Couldn't be that bad. I've been around cosmetics my whole life. I've even been asked to endorse a few products over the years. But on skincare, I always said no, because I simply never found anything that interesting. But Youthful Essence is different. It's the most remarkable breakthrough I've ever seen. Using crystals ground soft like sugar, it's a gentle way to exfoliate the top layer of your skin, revealing the younger-looking skin below. It's fast, it's easy, and it works.
I think women need it. I think women need to be able to take care of themselves well in today's age and be able to make the time for themselves, and Youthful Essence absolutely supports them.
Are you ready to uncover the healthy-looking, radiant skin that lies just below the surface? Youthful Essence by Susan Lucci is a safe, gentle alternative to chemical and laser peels. It restores and gently polishes your skin. Over time, used 2 to 3 times a week, Youthful Essence can polish your skin to help reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles.
You just have this like glow, like serious, like rosy glow of like a baby.
I definitely feel like I just got out of some great facial.
Call now and order Youthful Essence by Susan Lucci. You'll receive the vitamin-enriched resurfacing cream, which holds the pure mineral crystals, plus the handheld resurfacing tool, which creates 4,000 microorbits per minute to massage the crystals onto your skin so they can gently exfoliate dead cells quickly, evenly, safely, to reveal the glowing skin below.
This little resurfacing tool is so easy. I love that, first of all, it comes with the batteries.
Yes.
Love that it comes with the batteries. And it is simply on and off. That easy. I love this.
Earlier in the show, you heard the special television price was only $199.75. Now, when you order in the next 8 minutes, you'll receive the handheld resurfacing tool and 2 new sponge applicators absolutely free, which lowers your total price to an amazing 2 easy payments of $39.95. You can have the resurfacing tool at our expense because we want you to be a continued customer and you need the tool to apply the mineral crystals. That's why Susan Lucci created her easy Crystals Are a Girl's Best Friend Club. You'll conveniently receive a fresh supply of the resurfacing cream plus 2 new sponge applicators every 60 days. You lock in the low price of only $39.95 per month and you assure yourself of soft, smooth, glowing skin without interruption. You can cancel at any time.
To be able to buy a product for less than 1 microdermabrasion treatment and have 2 to 3 months worth of it is wonderful.
Also, every order of Youthful Essence comes with a risk-free 60-day money-back guarantee backed by trusted Guthrie Renker with a 15-year track record of outstanding customer service. You get instant, long-lasting results or your money back.
That makes me feel safer to buy the product and to use it. Because I know that if I use it and I don't like it, I can get all my money back.
Use Youthful Essence 2 to 3 times a week for a personal soothing facial massage with skin rejuvenation every time you apply. It's gentle and safe with no peeling, redness or recovery time. Youthful Essence, only 2 easy payments of $39.95 when you call in the next 6 minutes. Because the resurfacing tool is free, the sponge applicators are free, the batteries free, and we'll even add 1 more free gift, the cleansing facial wash. A beautiful, soothing, ultralight cleanser that gives you a healthy, sought-after glow. With all these free offers, now's the time to act. You're in for a pleasant surprise. Call now.
Seeing Susan, who uses Youthful Essence and has amazing skin, really reassured me that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm starting young and that I can continue to use it. And hopefully, when I reach her age, I won't look as beautiful as she does because she's just gorgeous.
You can't stop getting older in years. But for the most part, aging is how you see yourself, how confident you are, how productive, and how beautiful you feel inside. But let's not kid each other. How you look on the outside affects how you feel on the inside. And in this program, you've heard women call Youthful Essence a way to enhance your natural beauty. It works, and you feel like a new woman every time you use it. The results are immediate and just get better and better with time.
And people just ask me, what do you do? Why does your skin look so great? And I say, Youthful Essence.
I tell everybody about it. I even got my boyfriend to use it. He loved it. He really did. He couldn't believe it.
Youthful Essence has already regenerated my skin so much that I don't want to ever stop using the product because I want to keep that look going.
It is simple, it's affordable.
And the self-confidence that comes from having good skin, and your husband kisses you on the cheek and goes, oh, that's so soft. That makes my day every time.
It gives me more self-confidence. I always feel younger and fresher after I use it.
The convenience, the ease, what it does for our souls, our hearts, our sense of being.
And Youthful Essence really does help you then to put your best face forward.
To like not even just your skin, it becomes almost a whole catapult to, just a sense of well-being.
I definitely feel like I just got out of some great facial.
You just have this glow, serious, rosy glow of a baby.
I think women need it. I think women need to be able to take care of themselves well in today's age and be able to make the time for themselves. And Youthful Essence absolutely supports them.
Diamonds may be a girl's best friend, but I prefer crystals and my Youthful Essence.
This is your last chance to take advantage of this special offer and free gifts. Call 1-800 55 6605 now.
Dodo, your broadband internet plan with unlimited download rocks.
Yeah, at $29.90 a month for the first 3 months, it'll save you heaps.
Plus, I can surf the net and chat to you at the same time.
Gotta fly.
Dodo, internet that flies.
Is your toothpaste helping to whiten your teeth? By combining White Glow whitening toothpaste with a special condensed bristle toothbrush, the polishing particles in White Glow effectively lift most stains during regular brushing. That's why every White Glow whitening toothpaste includes a special anti-stain toothbrush. And it's free. Now that's something to smile about. White Glow, when you really, truly want whiter teeth.
It's an Adelaide Cup Bargain Carnival at Mr. Bankrupt's Mega Market this long weekend. Get on your horse and bring your bookies bag. We've got all your favourites. You're guaranteed a winner. Women's shoes, men's shoes, pet shoes, everything but horse shoes, all a minimum 70% off. Straight out of the corporate box. We mean business, all 80% off. Racing out now. School shirts followed by school shorts. Horses don't wear track pants, but they're all $5 here. Ladies' lingerie, we've got niggers riding up the rear from $1. And out in front, right on the hooters, check out these beauties. They're $5 too. The brand you love to bet. We don't mean to nag, but the best stuff bolts early. So don't get pipped at the post. Gas lift chairs definitely won't last for long. From $5. And we bet you'll have $10 each way. On desks and filing cabinets, we've got bookie cases ready to run. It's a sure thing. There's a late up long weekend, even holiday Monday. Mr. Bankrupt's Mega Market, corner of Marion and Richmond Road.
Helicopter rides for critically ill kids are often a matter of life and death. Thanks to donations, the Telstra Child Flight helicopter last year saved the lives of over 300 children. But without that support, this service isn't possible. Can you help? It could be the ride of their life.
Take note. End of financial year is near at A&R, so cash in and get a $100 Kmart shopping voucher on this Pentium 4 with an LCD flat screen, DVD burner, internet and a colour printer, all for $19.99. And you'll get a bonus $100 Kmart voucher. But hey, if you flexi rent, it goes up to $300 in Kmart vouchers. So make a note and head for A&R before June 30th. City, Holden Hill, Melrose Park, Noarlunga and Port Adelaide.
At Reese, you'll find all the products you need to make your bathroom whatever you want it to be. Reese, part of every great Australian bathroom.
This paid program is brought to you by Danos Direct, Australia's leader in home shopping. You could win $10,000 cash just by shopping with Danos Direct. To find out how, stay watching or go to danos.com.au. Limp vegetables, ruined fruit, freezer burn, and mouldy cheese. They're all now a thing of the past because vacuum saving is about to sweep the nation. It's better than wrapping, surpasses bagging, and goes beyond boxing your food. Because unlike all these methods, vacuum saving removes the air, then seals. By doing both, your foods can last up to 3 to 5 times longer. Meats can be purchased in bulk and divided into vacuum-safe portions, saving you big money. Fruits can stay moist and sweet way beyond normal shelf life. Leftovers can be kept so fresh, your family will call them second servings. And finally, freezer burn can be eliminated.
I would say I save anywhere from $150 to $200.
One fishing trip in the middle of summer, and you've got fish all through Christmas.
I've tried a smaller machine. It doesn't work. None of them work the same as a food saver.
It does exactly like it says on the commercial. It seals your food airtight,
and freezer ready.
You've seen how professionally vacuum sealed foods can last for months, as long as they're not open. Well, get ready to see how you can get all the benefits of an expensive commercial vacuum packaging machine over and over again, thanks to the greatest thing to happen to food since the invention of the refrigerator. Introducing the Food Saver Compact 2 from Danos Direct.
You know, ever since I was introduced to professional home vacuum saving over, 2 years ago now, it's become one of the most important activities we do in our kitchen. You remember the frozen meats with the freezer burn and the moldy cheese, the limp, dehydrated vegetables, the cash in the trash. Believe me, they are all a thing of the past. Now, my family can enjoy, well, this sweet corn, and we can have it in the middle of February with the same crunch and taste that it had right after it was picked. That's right. I, too, now have become a real freshness fanatic. Well, our friends at Tilia have another food saver that also gives you the benefits of the professional vacuum saving machine, but listen to this, at a more economical price. That is so exciting, a more economical price. And who's the best person to introduce us to this? The original freshness fanatic, of course, my buddy and yours, Jan Muller. Hi, kiddo.
Hi, sweetheart.
How are you?
Great to see you again. You're right, I'm more fanatic about freshness than ever before, and here's why. Someone tried to save money by buying cheese in bulk, because it's lower cost, right?
Sure.
And even though they wrapped it in this heavy-duty plastic wrap, it's already started to go bad just after a couple of months. So what have they got here? Cash in the trash, because even though they wanted to save money, they're throwing it away. Here's the other half of the bulk cheese, vacuum packed in the Food Saver bag. I want to show you exactly how easy it is, and we'll check and just see how fresh this cheese is, even though it's been vacuum packed for months. All you do is cut right below the seal to get inside of the bag. That's the only part of the bag that you throw away.
I love that part.
Open it up and take out whatever you've stored, like this fantastic Monterey Jack cheese. I want to do something. I'm going to cut off 2 pieces and show you how you can actually extend the life of your cheese. Take the leftover block of cheese, put it in one of the Food Saver bags, put it right here inside the vacuum channel, close it, lock it, and just turn it on with one finger. It's going to pump the air back out of the cheese and re-vacuum save it. Remember, you first have to get the air out and then seal it. That's what makes the Food Saver completely different from everything else.
You can do it again and again and again and again until all the cheese is gone, and if you just do it, you never have this.
Exactly. Now look, here we've got it vacuum saved instead of throwing it away in the trash can. Okay, let's try an experiment. I've cut off 2 hunks of the Monterey Jack cheese. I'm going to give you one of these new bags with the slider seal on it. And I'm going to take a specially designed Food Saver vacuum packaging bag. I'm going to take my piece of cheese, so go ahead, put your cheese in.
All right.
And I'll do mine and you do yours.
And see what happens. I do this at home, and I do this all the time. What happens when I used to do this, even with this new slider top, what I used to do here, you try to push the air out.
Right.
It became my opinion that all I ever did was successfully lock the air in.
I've locked in the freshness with the Food Saver.
Yeah.
You've locked in the air, because I don't care what you do, even if you try to suck the air out before you close this little slider. It doesn't work because they're not designed to keep the air from going in and out. Take a look at this. You can put meat or poultry in a Food Saver bag, vacuum save it, it'll stay fresh frozen in the freezer for up to 3 years. How about fresh vegetables? You can vacuum save your fresh vegetables, put them in the refrigerator, and now they'll last 3 to 5 times longer because we're locking in the freshness.
I think we all try everything. Like you put these things into the crisper drawer, that doesn't work.
No, I call that the limper drawer, because if you ever noticed whatever you put in that drawer comes out limper, not anymore. Use the Food Saver that'll last longer. And how about taking all of your leftovers and turning them into second servings, actually making your own homemade frozen TV dinners that your family will eat.
You know what's so great about this? It's actually used. I'd leave it in the refrigerator till it was so bad you couldn't eat it, then I'd throw it away. Now I save it and we eat it.
Yes, because we've all been raised to know it's a sin to waste food.
Yes.
And look what everybody goes through to save food. You put it in plastic bags and it goes bad. You put it in plastic containers and it goes bad.
Yeah.
You put it in other plastic bags that are hand sealed. These are supposed to keep it fresh, and it doesn't. Here's the other half of that block of cheese that was vacuum saved with the Food Saver bag. Here's the other half that was sealed with the hand seal. This you can still eat for up to 6 months in your refrigerator. And every time you want to get into that cheese, you just cut right below the seal. You take out the cheese, and then you just have to re-vacuum save it. Now listen. Is it worth 5 seconds to save the cheese instead of throwing it away?
Well, because if you don't do that, what happens is you're throwing away so much money. That cash in the trash you talk about. How much money are we throwing away, Jen?
Well, I know from my own personal experience, I was throwing over $20 a week away. Things like meats with freezer burn, cheese, and what about dry goods? So you can throw away over $1,000 worth of food every year unless you use the Food Saver to re-vacuum save it. Let me show you the power of the Food Saver. Now I have 6 empty soda cans in a Food Saver bag connected to the Food Saver. I'm gonna turn on the pump. Remember, Nancy, this is not a toy. It's not a gimmick. This pumps all of the air out of the bag. It's a commercial quality pump.
This is not something I do a lot in my kitchen.
Well, no, but I'm using this to show you that it truly does have the power to get all the air out of the bag, because when you take out the air, the atmospheric pressure crushes what is ever inside that bag, just like we crush these.
Continues to dazzle
Look at that. Now you have the power of a commercial quality professional vacuum packaging system, just like this one that costs over $2,500 that they use for vacuum packaging cheese. But look what they do. First, they remove the air and then they seal it, and that's exactly what we do here with the Food Saver. Now, the magic of the Food Saver is in these specially designed bags. Patented air channels on one side of the bag. If we had 2 smooth sides of the bag, it would collapse on itself and you wouldn't get all the air out. 3 protective layers, FDA-approved materials, and that means that this bag is boilable, microwavable, freezable, reusable, and it's even, just like a glass, dishwasher safe.
And I'll tell you what, I think that's really important too, because all this other stuff I've tried over the years, you use it and you toss it. I don't like throwing things away. This you use again and again and again and again.
You'll have the Food Saver for the rest of your life. It'll become the most important appliance in your home, and if all you ever used it for was just to re-vacuum save your cheese, you'd always have great, fresh tasting cheese whenever you want it. And people have no idea how much food they're actually wasting in the freezer, even though they think it's being preserved. Take a look at this. You know what freezer burn is?
It's awful.
Yeah, oxidation, dehydration, and it ends up looking like this.
Oh, the protective barrier we get on the ice cream.
What it is it's destroying the flavor, destroying the taste, the texture of it. Half the time you don't even know what it is because the freezer burn has gotten so bad. No more, because with the Food Saver you can now eliminate freezer burn, which is the enemy of freshness. Here I've got 4 steaks, putting it in the Food Saver bag, vacuum saving it so that I can put it in my freezer. I can now keep this fresh frozen in the freezer for up to 3 years with no freezer burn.
3 years. And in a few seconds, you've done it.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
Look at these 2 pieces of salmon. Can you tell any difference in the vacuum packaging?
No.
This was done with the Food Saver. This was done commercially. Now you can get your fish at the supermarket and vacuum package it. It'll stay fresh frozen for up to 2 years in the freezer. What about making pies just once or twice a year, vacuum saving them and freezing them? Then you can eat pie all year long. Vacuum save them, put them in the freezer. And here's a tip for people that love to cook. After Thanksgiving, I make a turkey broth. I put it into an ice cube tray, freeze it, and then vacuum package the cubes, so now I've got my own broth, and that'll stay fresh frozen in my freezer with no freezer burn. I won't lose the flavor, the color, the texture.
I love that idea.
Isn't that great? If all you ever used your Food Saver for was to eliminate freezer burn, you'd never have to be afraid of freezer burn again.
But I love preparing meals for the future.
Yeah, meals in advance.
Yeah.
That's what I've done right over here. Most people come home to something that's frozen in a box. And if you've ever read the ingredients, some of these have over 50 ingredients for this tiny little box meal, okay? But there's one ingredient that's missing.
What?
Love. And I'm not kidding. When I cook my food, I cook with love. That's what, you know, for me, for my friends, for my family. So now I can now vacuum save my leftovers, turn them into meals in advance. You can cook 1 day of the week. You can reduce the salt, the sugar, the fat. There's no chemicals, no preservatives. It's all fresh, natural food that you've made for your family. It's fabulous.
You're putting some love in it. Even when you're not there, they're getting that.
And this is a great way to be able to take our meals to our elderly parents if they can't cook anymore.
Oh, that's a lovely idea.
Isn't that
it really
great?
is, yeah.
This is a great practical use for your Food Saver, because now you can make your own TV dinners. And remember that your Food Saver bags are microwave safe.
all you have to do in order to do this is just put the meal on a microwave-safe dish.
Right, and then just put it into your microwave, set the time, and start. And there's more you can do with your food saver in the freezer. You can take all of the meals that you make, for example, a lasagna, and cut it up into individual portions.
And of course, the bags are microwave safe, but they're also boiling safe, so you can take these bags and boil them in water.
Yeah, how about for lunch, spaghetti and meatballs?
Great.
Let's make that one. You see, if all you ever used your food saver for was to make pre-planned meals in advance, your family would always have your delicious home cooking made with love, even when you're not at home.
Yes.
And remember, Nancy, the food saver gets all the air out and then seals it. You stop wasting food and you start saving it.
We saw it on an infomercial, we bought it, and we've been very happy. It works really well. I mean, the fish tastes very fresh, it seals it very tight, it's clean, it's just a great product.
I'm able to buy huge quantities and freeze it into individual packages, and then that way I save a lot of money.
We vacuum seal fresh grapes and freeze them for the wintertime. We do a lot of walnuts and almonds and raisins. I've got salmon in the freezer right now that's been there for over a year, and there's nothing wrong with it.
I no longer can eat just one meal, 2 meals a day as a diabetic. I must break that up throughout the day. In fact, about every 3 hours, you got to have a little something. So I've got the small bags, and I'm able to support my dietary habits and maintain my health. So I find the food saver as a lifesaver, not just with the food, but in my lifestyle.
Stop wasting money on food that goes off before you have a chance to use it. The Food Saver Compact 2 from Danos Direct gives you a true commercial quality vacuum seal. Now you can store fruits well beyond their normal shelf life and save money by purchasing in bulk and vacuum saving meats, cheese, poultry, fish and other packaged foods. Uses for the Food Saver Compact 2 are endless. Gardeners can now enjoy their homegrown produce right throughout the year. This high-quality unit allows you to stock up so you can take advantage of food sales. It's invaluable when camping, hiking, or exploring with your caravan. Now you'll be able to serve your family next day. Second servings that will no longer taste like leftovers. And it even reseals most plastic bags. The Food Saver Compact 2 vacuum saving system from Danos Direct makes all this possible because it features a powerful commercial quality vacuum pump, and its patented triple layer bags are uniquely designed to efficiently allow the removal of air and not let it back in, unlike many other plastic storage bags. Order now. Phone Danos Direct on 1-800-808-938 and you'll receive the Food Saver Compact 2, a comprehensive illustrated instructional guide, plus a 3-meter food saver roll to make custom-sized VacLock storage bags for only 4 monthly payments of $72.25 plus postage and handling. Plus, you'll also receive an additional pack of 5 pre-cut VacLock bags, as well as the Food Saver Vacuum Bottle Stopper. The bottle stopper will help keep delicate non-carbonated bottled drinks and oils fresh long after they're opened. We'll even include the Food Saver Universal Lid and 1.4-litre canister. Just slip one end of the accessory hose into the accessory port, the other end into the universal lid, and you'll be able to prolong the life of foods like strawberries, chips, lettuce, and much more. When you vacuum save in a Food Saver canister, foods can last as much as 3 to 5 times longer than normal. All of the items in this offer add up to over $500 in value. Take advantage of this exclusive offer from Danos Direct and you'll receive the entire Food Saver Compact 2 system for only 4 easy payments of $72.25 plus postage and handling. The Food Saver Compact 2 is a professional quality unit that's backed by Danos Direct's unconditional 30-day money-back satisfaction guarantee and full 12-month warranty. Order now. Phone Danos Direct on 1-800-808-938 or check out the Food Saver Compact 2 system as well as hundreds of other innovative products online now at danos.com.au. What would you do with $10,000 cash? Shop with Danos Direct and you could win $10,000. You could go on holidays, buy a car, pay bills, or simply spoil yourself. It's all yours to spend on whatever you wish. $10,000 cash can be yours just by shopping with Danos Direct. Conditions apply. See the website for full details.
One time when I was down in Mexico, I caught 250 pounds of yellowfin tuna, which is ahi tuna. On the menu, it's $13.95, $15.95. In the fresh fish markets, it sells for about $10. So if I caught 250 pounds of fish, that's $2,500. If I didn't have this particular device, I would have had to leave it there and just brought home 10 pounds of fish. So on that one trip alone, I paid for this machine tenfold.
When I put food in there, when I put that seal on, and I see it taking that air out, and and it's just grabbing that food and just holding it. Next thing you know, it's telling me I'm sealing it now, and I take it out and it's just flat. There's no air in it. It's just a nice little, just like you get it out the store. I've gotten meats and stuff that they've sealed like that, and I go, well, once you pop that, you cut that open and you have it open, you're going, it'll never be that sealed again.
When I first bought it, I wanted to see if there was really a difference. This is 8 months old. It's in the bag. We all have used them in the past. Look at that. Compared to Food Saver. This tells it right, clear and simple. This is still pink. This has gotten freezer burn. Which one would you want to eat?
Now, we've seen how the Food Saver extends the shelf life of food in our home, so we have a greater chance of eating it before it goes bad. But you can also use the Food Saver to shorten time with food.
Yes.
You want to see that?
Oh, yes, I love
Come with
this.
me. Now you can use your Food Saver and an ordinary container to marinate your food in just minutes instead of hours or
now,
overnight.
I never saw you do this.
No, this is something new. Yes.
A new Janism.
Put in your steaks or your chicken, whatever you want to marinate. Pour your marinade in halfway up and watch what happens.
Explain to us again, why is it going to marinate quickly just because we're doing this?
Because when you pull a vacuum on the meat or the fish, it actually opens the pores and allows the marinade to go right inside the meat. So we put this in the refrigerator for about 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
I know.
And you have a marinade that would normally take you overnight. Now, how would you like to take the cash out of the trash and double it?
We're listening.
Okay,
We're listening.
look at this.
Oh.
When you buy cheese in a regular small package, it costs about $4 a pound. When you buy it in bulk, it's $2 a pound. When you buy chicken in the small pack, it's about $6 a pound. Buy it in bulk, it's less than $3 a pound. Now,
And it's wonderful.
It really adds up. Here's why. We spend $120 a week on food.
On average,
If you
yep.
shop at a warehouse club, you'll spend half that amount. And that means a family can enjoy those savings of over $3,000 a year. If all you used your Food Saver for was to buy in bulk,
yes,
you'll save 50% of your food bill. Now, it's worth it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Now, I know you're from Minnesota.
Yes.
The Food Saver was made for people that love to hunt and fish. Here's why. You see, when you hunt and fish, you get the catch, and you get a lot of it at the same time. So you have to do something with it. Most of the time, it stinks up the refrigerator or the freezer. You have to give it all away. Not anymore. You can vacuum save the fish. Look at this. Venison, no freezer burn, so you don't have to worry about it going bad in the freezer. It's fabulous for all of your game hens, from quail to duck to partridge to guinea hen, even goose. And of course, it's fabulous for fish because once it's vacuum packed and there's no odor, you never have to worry about it in the freezer.
Now, there's another thing that people love to do at home, and of course, that's gardening.
If you're a gardener, you have to love the Food Saver, and here's why. Look what it does for you.
Oh, look how gorgeous
Isn't this great?
Yeah,
It's a beautiful bounty, but it all comes at once. Take a look at this.
Yes, and you even just put the little pats of butter on, and now I could just blanch this, put it in here, and in February, it's going to taste as great as it did in August.
Yes, because what you've done is vacuum saved it. We removed the air and then sealed it. That means it is vacuum saved.
And all I have to do is take this out of the freezer, and I can drop it into boiling water, and I have fresh corn on the cob.
Same thing with your string beans.
Yes.
And squash and beans. And you can even make your own sauces, like tomato sauces. That way you always have your own fresh pasta sauce.
I love these Janisms. It's a good thing you came today.
And how about sending great gifts during the holidays?
Your homemade love you were talking about.
When you got married, did you ever save your, the top of your wedding cake so you could eat it on your first anniversary?
Yeah, yes, what we had was sort of this frosting brick thing going on.
Let me show you how you can do it with the Food Saver. It's easy to do. We froze it first, then vacuum saved it. You put this in the freezer, and next year you'll be able to thaw it out and actually eat a piece of the wedding cake. And besides wedding cake, how about being able to vacuum pack the whole wedding dress? It can cost over $100 just to do a wedding dress.
I know for a fact that it does.
Isn't that great?
That's so nice.
Save memorabilia. Things like the comic books and the baseball cards and stamps.
And this, of course, looks like...
First aid or emergency kit. And over here, saving things from the kids. These are really precious memories to save. So something like the handprint from your daughter or your son, certificates of birth,
certificate.
Even photo albums.
You've got the whole photo album in here. That's a good idea.
Here's a really great use for it. This is one I love because you only use the silver once or twice a year.
I know, and before you use it, you're polishing like crazy. But now, so if we put it in here, it's not going to be tarnished when we take it out?
No, because what's not in there?
Of course, the air would
There's no air in there.
That's it.
And you can even use it for your jewelry. This is a great way to preserve old antiques and jewelry. Anything that you want to save from the air, you can put inside. When you get to your campsite and you want a really dry sweater after being out on the boat all day, all you have to do is just open it up, take it out, and your sweater comes right back to the same size and shape.
And it looks perfect.
Isn't that fabulous?
It really is.
Even if you're just going on a short trip or vacations and you got small kids, you know, babies, all you have to do to save space in the car or the RV or the boat is vacuum, and it all comes right back to the same size.
But look at how much space you saved in the
Isn't that
meantime.
great?
Again, I just keep saying, why on earth wouldn't you have it?
Well, the Food Saver will become your most valuable appliance in your home.
I think so.
Now, I'm going to go prepare a very special demonstration for the Food Saver, so I'll see you in just a minute.
I have hosted a lot of shows on kitchen products, and the Food Saver, honestly, has to have one of the widest range of uses in the kitchen and beyond that I have ever seen. Not only is it easy to use and super convenient, it actually pays for itself as you use it. It's the ultimate kitchen cash saver. Jan, what are you doing?
We're taking a break now, right?
Yes.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to see the Food Saver do something that has never been seen before. We've seen it crush 6 empty soda cans.
Yes.
It's going to crush 48 cans, a full 2 cases.
Okay, we'll stick around for this.
This is a sample of what I brought back from Mexico. This is Dorado, and because of the packaging, I can put the date on it, and I guarantee you this one's caught in April of '98. If I cook that tonight, it'll taste just like fresh fish.
Be able to use it later on, still have the same quality of food that you had when you started off. You want the Food Saver.
Stop wasting money on food that goes off before you have a chance to use it. The Food Saver Compact 2 from Danos Direct gives you a true commercial quality vacuum seal. Now you can store fruits well beyond their normal shelf life and save money by purchasing in bulk and vacuum saving meats, cheese, poultry, fish and other packaged foods. Uses for the Food Saver Compact 2 are endless. Gardeners can now enjoy their homegrown produce right throughout the year. This high-quality unit allows you to stock up so you can take advantage of food sales. It's invaluable when camping, hiking, or exploring with your caravan. Now you'll be able to serve your family next day. Second servings that will no longer taste like leftovers. And it even reseals most plastic bags. The Food Saver Compact 2 vacuum saving system from Danos Direct makes all this possible because it features a powerful commercial quality vacuum pump, and its patented triple layer bags are uniquely designed to efficiently allow the removal of air and not let it back in, unlike many other plastic storage bags. Order now. Phone Danos Direct on 1-800-808-938 and you'll receive the Food Saver Compact 2, a comprehensive illustrated instructional guide, plus a 3-meter Food Saver roll to make custom-sized vac-lock storage bags for only 4 monthly payments of $72.25 plus postage and handling. Plus, you'll also receive an additional pack of 5 pre-cut vac-lock bags, as well as the Food Saver Vacuum Bottle Stopper. The bottle stopper will help keep delicate non-carbonated bottled drinks and oils fresh long after they're opened. We'll even include the Food Saver Universal Lid and 1.4-litre canister. Just slip one end of the accessory hose into the accessory port, the other end into the universal lid, and you'll be able to prolong the life of foods like strawberries, chips, lettuce, and much more. When you vacuum save in a Food Saver canister, foods can last as much as 3 to 5 times longer than normal. All of the items in this offer add up to over $500 in value. Take advantage of this exclusive offer from Danos Direct and you'll receive the entire Food Saver Compact 2 system for only 4 easy payments of $72.25 plus postage and handling. The Food Saver Compact 2 is a professional quality unit that's backed by Danos Direct's unconditional 30-day money-back satisfaction guarantee and full 12-month warranty. Order now. Phone Danos Direct on 1-800-808-938 or check out the Food Saver Compact 2 system as well as hundreds of other innovative products online now at danos.com.au. What would you do with $10,000 cash? Shop with Danos Direct and you could win $10,000. You could go on holidays, buy a car, pay bills, or simply spoil yourself. It's all yours to spend on whatever you wish. $10,000 cash can be yours just by shopping with Danos Direct. Conditions apply. See the website for full details.
Nancy, you've seen the Food Saver crush 6 empty soda cans. Now, it's amazing, but it's crushed a full 2 cases, 48 cans in one long Food Saver bag. And we rolled some tape on this and speeded it up so you can see what happened.
Jen, it really is unbelievable.
No, Nancy, it's the Food Saver. It's the ultimate vacuum packaging system. And if all you ever used your Food Saver for was to vacuum save your cheese, you'd have the freshest, best tasting cheese. If all you used it for was to vacuum save meat, fish, and poultry in the freezer, you'd be able to enjoy that food and fish whenever you needed it. If all you used it for was to vacuum save leftover meals, you'd always have the best second servings just like they were just cooked. And Nancy, if all you used it for was to vacuum save your special clothing and valuables, you'd have peace of mind that they wouldn't be easily damaged. As a matter of fact, if all you used the Food Saver for was just one of these many uses, it would be a blessing in your home.
Once again, you have amazed me with everything my favorite appliance in the house can do, Jan. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie.
Thank you.
I can't say I couldn't live without one. I just wouldn't want to live without one.
There is no comparison. This is airtight.
I think that the small amount that this unit costs is easily paid for in maybe the first week or two.
I'd absolutely recommend the Food Saver because it keeps the foods fresh for so long. There's no other product I've ever seen that works like that.
People are amazed when they taste fish that I've vacuum sealed and brought home, and they think it's fresh. It's just the greatest.
danos.com.au, not just another .com.
How creative can your new kitchen be? Jag Creative. Innovative. Personalised design. Colour, style, pizzazz. National Designer of the Year. Jag Kitchens. For better living.
It's an Adelaide Cup bargain carnival at Mr. Bankrupt's Mega Market this long weekend. Get on your horse and bring your bookies bag. We've got all your favourites. You're guaranteed a winner. Women's shoes, men's shoes, pet shoes, everything but horse shoes, all a minimum 70% off. Straight out of the corporate box. We mean business, all 80% off. Racing out now. School shirts followed by school shorts. Horses don't wear track pants, but they're all $5 here. Ladies' lingerie, we've got niggers riding up the rear from $1. And out in front, right on the hooters, check out these beauties. They're $5 too. The brand you love to bet. We don't mean to nag, but the best stuff bolts early. So don't get pipped at the post. Gas lift chairs definitely won't last for long. From $5. And we bet you'll have $10 each way. On desks and filing cabinets, we've got bookie cases ready to run. It's a sure thing this Adelaide Cup long weekend, even holiday Monday. Mr. Bankrupt's Mega Market, corner of Marion and Richmond Road.
Dragon Paws Walk. The one day you and your dog can help the RSPCA simply by going walkies. Call the RSPCA for details.
Here at Hair Machine, we've been awarded Australian Salon of the Year for the last 8 years. Come in and experience for yourself Australia's most awarded salon.
Hair Machine.
I wanted to do a commercial, trendy and fashionable look.
Hair Machine.
Cut and colour has been a very important part of Hair Machine.
Hair Machine. Hair Machine, Australian Salon of the Year.
Dodo, your broadband internet plan with unlimited download rocks.
Yeah, at $29.90 a month for the first 3 months, it'll save you heaps.
Plus, I can surf the net and chat to you at the same time.
Gotta fly.
Dodo, internet that flies.
Good morning. Wild weather. Heavy storms caused severe flooding in Texas with more rain on the way today. Troubled waters, rip currents kill 3 swimmers in South Florida this week. And Rush's rage. He's lashing out at Florida prosecutors today, Friday, May 14th, 2004.
From NBC News, this is Today with Katie Couric and Matt Lauer, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And welcome to Today on this Friday morning, everyone. I'm Katie Couric.
And I'm Matt Lauer. The people in southeast Texas got hammered yesterday. They had about a foot of rain, caused extreme flooding in a lot of parts of that area.
That's right, Matt. And as you know, unfortunately, more heavy rain is in the forecast today. We'll go live to Texas in just a minute and get the forecast there from Al Roker. And check this out. It almost looks like something out of The Wizard of Oz.
God.
This tornado hit
God.
Kansas on Wednesday, ripping the roof off this home. We're going to show you more of this pretty outrageous video in just a few minutes. And then the politics over Iraq. The Bush administration says the war will cost more than $50 billion for the next fiscal year. Will it fly in Congress? We'll get into the politics of it all with CNBC's and MSNBC's Chris Matthews.
We also have a lot of fun on tap this morning. 8 is enough for a Pennsylvania couple. The 29-year-old mom gave birth to sextuplets this week. Those 6 babies join the couple's twins. We're going to meet the happy family a little later on. And we're wrapping up our Sitcoms We Love series this morning. Today, a cast you'll hail will reunite the gang from Taxi.
And this one's for the girls and the guys, too. Country music sensation Martina McBride will perform live on our concert stage. But first, wild weather. Jay Sokol works for the city of Bryan, Texas. Jay, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me a little bit about the extent of the damage. I know that you guys had some pretty intense rain and wind. I guess about 1,500 people were left without power. How bad is it?
Now it's much better. The 1,500 people left without power do have power. The destruction was moderate in general. Things like roofs ripped off, fences down, trees snapped, things like that. It would be tough to characterize what is behind me as moderate. This small frame home owned by the Collins family sustained, well, it's destroyed, complete damage. You might be able to see a tree has fallen into the house, and there were 2 or 3 homes in Bryan that suffered similar damage.
I understand that a lot of the roads were cut off as well.
Yes, they were. We had a lot of streets and roads that were closed off, barricaded for a number of hours because of floodwaters. And a small community to our north, Hearn, Texas, was cut off from us. Highway 6 was blocked off for a number of hours. And a lot of people live in Hearn and work in Bryan. And those kids were still in school in Bryan, so there were some anxious parents here.
And what's the forecast for later today, Jay?
Unfortunately, I understand we have a 70% chance of more rain. And here in Bryan, some areas of Bryan, we received up to 10 inches of rain. So we're not looking forward to much more.
All right, Jay Sokol. Jay, thanks so much for your time this morning. Good luck with that bad weather.
Thank you.
It's 3 minutes after the hour now. Here's Matt.
All right, Katie, thank you. Brett Anthony is a meteorologist with NBC affiliate KSHB in Kansas City, Missouri. Brett, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I understand a tornado came through Kansas on Attica, Kansas on Thursday and destroyed 3 homes. How much advanced warning was there for these storms?
Well, Doppler radar has really helped us get the advanced warning out a lot sooner than was previously imaginable. And one of the things we knew was the setup going into this day. There was a strong cold front coming into some very warm and humid air. And so the setup was there for tornadoes. In fact, chasers were able to get out several hours in advance of these tornadoes, and that's why we have these great images of these tornadoes, because they knew in advance, almost earlier in the day, that this was going to happen. And that video there is just amazing. As you can tell, a tornado almost acting like a vacuum cleaner, just sucking everything that's on the ground upward.
Brett, one of the tornadoes was categorized as an F4. Give me a sense of how strong that is.
Where you're looking at winds in excess of about 250 miles an hour, and there used to be an old thought that, you know, you could open the windows and the doors and somehow that would equalize the pressure on either side of that. But think of 250-mile-an-hour winds trying to put your house in front of a freight train. That's not going to stop it. These winds were just so powerful that they basically took houses right off their foundations, as you can see there. And we're just lucky that a lot of this happened out in a more of a rural area and not in an urban area. And I understand there were no injuries out of any of these tornadoes.
Yeah, it's very lucky. Hey, Brett, thank you very much. Brett Anthony of KSHB-TV in Kansas City. Thanks again.
Thank goodness those people weren't in that house.
Well,
Wasn't that wild?
But also
how it
you
just
realize
lifted
how
off
close
the ground?
the camera crew was to that until they finally pulled back and you realize they were a little distance away, but that's way too close for me.
Absolutely. Anyway, let's get the rest of the morning's top stories from Ann Curry at the news desk. Ann, good morning.
Katie and Matt, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Leading our newscast, Iraq. Today, U.S. troops are again battling the troops loyal to cleric Muqtada al-Sadr. Explosions rocked the city of Najaf this morning, and U.S. tanks are now in the city. Al-Sadr is nearby, and he remains defiant, condemning the U.S. and Iraqis to cooperate with the U.S. Also today, in what appears to be a routine release, the U.S. military began letting more than 300 detainees go from Abu Ghraib prison. It is part of a plan to cut the number of detainees there from about 3,800 to fewer than 2,000 by the end of next month. NBC News has obtained exclusive new information linking military intelligence officers to what happened to Abu Ghraib. NBC's Jim Miklaszewski is at the Pentagon this morning with more on this story. Jim, good morning.
Good morning, Ann. While 7 military guards have been charged with prisoner abuse, investigators are now looking hard into the role played by military intelligence officers and whether they broke the rules during interrogations. This newly released photo, obtained exclusively by NBC News, appears to be the first hard evidence of prisoner abuse actually being used as an interrogation technique at Abu Ghraib prison. The photo, which sources say was taken during an interrogation, shows naked Iraqi prisoners in a heap on the floor, surrounded by 4 soldiers identified as military intelligence officers and 1 civilian translator. The photo emerged as lawmakers grilled Deputy Defense Secretary Paul Wolfowitz over interrogation rules they claim violate the Geneva Convention.
There's a bag over your head for 72 hours. Is that humane?
Let me come back to what you said, the work of the
No,
department.
answer the question, Secretary.
I believe it's not
Sensory
humane.
deprivation.
Strikes me as not humane, Senator.
Thank you very much.
Defense Secretary Rumsfeld's back in Washington this morning after a whirlwind surprise trip to Baghdad and a visit to the scene of the crime, Abu Ghraib prison.
In recent months, we've seen abuses here under our responsibility. And it's been a body blow for all of us. But it doesn't represent America.
But some military officials say it does represent a major breakdown in the system, and they blame the Pentagon for pushing aggressive interrogations too far. Ann?
NBC's Jim Miklaszewski this morning. Jim, thank you. A memorial service is being planned today in Pennsylvania for Nicholas Berg, and U.S. intelligence officials have concluded with high probability that it was Abu Musab al-Zarqawi who executed Berg. Thousands of people gathered last night for a candlelight vigil at the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. They were honoring the 145 police officers killed in the line of duty last year. And there was a fantastic finish in last night's Lakers-Spurs playoff game. The Spurs thought they'd won it when Tim Duncan's desperation shot gave them a 73-72 lead with 0.4 of a second left. But the Lakers' Derek Fisher hit a desperation shot of his own at the buzzer, giving LA the win and a 3-2 lead in their series. So there, it is now 7:08. Turn back to Matt and Katie. Don't see that every day.
Do you understand that? I mean, 0.4 of a second. If there's only 0.3 of a second on the clock, it has to be a tip-on, because you tip in because you can't get a shot off in that time. 0.4 of a second, you got a shot off.
Wow.
Nothing but net. You stayed up and watched, I know.
Yeah. I watched the end of Frasier.
Did you? That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm being a loyal
One
NBC
for the home team there.
employer,
There you go.
employee, rather. Anyway, we're going to head out to California, Los Angeles specifically, where Al's got a check of the weather in an interesting setting this morning. You might want to explain, Al.
That's right, Katie, Matt. Well, good morning. We are here at NBC Burbank, where our set decorators have recreated the set of Taxi, where we're going to be reuniting the cast a little bit later as part of our favorite sitcom. So we'll be doing that in just a little bit. But of course, as you've mentioned, we've had some severe weather in the Midwest, and more is on the way. Take a look at the radar. Victoria, Texas, Lake Charles, Louisiana, and moving further to the north, more strong storms today, unfortunately. Heavy rain, areas picking up anywhere from 5 to 8 inches of rain, some places picking up as much as a foot of rain before it's all over. More serious flooding. There could be severe storms and isolated tornadoes again today in southeastern Texas on into Louisiana. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. That's your latest weather. Katie?
All right, Al, thanks so much. On Close-Up this morning, the political battle over Iraq. Chris Matthews is the host of Hardball and the Chris Matthews Show. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, Katie.
Well, the Bush administration now acknowledges, as you well know, Chris, that next year it will need more than $50 billion to continue additional funds for Iraq and Afghanistan. Add that to $87 billion. That's $137 billion. But yesterday there was like a contentious hearing, and John McCain said, and Republican senators rather, said they wanted more oversight of this money. Let me quote what John McCain said. He said, "Mistakes that have been made which have led us to a situation which I think is very grave." Clearly, there's still a lot of concern about what's happening in Iraq and Afghanistan on Capitol Hill. Will the Bush administration get this money no problem?
Well, they'll probably get it, but with a problem, they're going to get a lot more oversight, a lot more strings attached. And this is Congress's way of saying we don't like the way things are going. We want to assert more control. I think there's a lot of political hedging going on about the war itself, Katie, in this fight over money.
How do you see this all basically ending, or how do you see the problem being solved first on Capitol Hill?
Well, I think a lot of conservatives are now talking about trying to speed up the elections over in Iraq and reassert the United States as the liberators, especially in light of these horrible pictures coming out of there. We don't look like the liberators right now to anyone in the world, and the United States has got to shift the attention away from the horrors and the mischief of that prison, Abu Ghraib's prison, and shifted towards the question of how the Iraqis are going to rule themselves once we're gone. They've got to shift attention of the world dramatically. And the conservatives are talking about that right now, that they face that big challenge to sell the campaign. They have to sell the exit strategy.
Chris, you know, we hear more about more activity, chaos, frankly, that's been going on in that prison every day. Now these huge sex parties. I mean, how did things get so out of control in your view when you analyze it?
Well, watching this every night, I have to tell you that it seems like Mick's report we just saw does bring it to a head. In the beginning, we saw those pictures coming out of Abu Ghraib as kind of sort of mischievous postcards home, people hot-dogging it, showing off, misusing their authority on a middle of the night kind of a situation when the big guys weren't watching. Now we're seeing that what we were seeing, bundling people together naked like that to humiliate them sexually, that was in fact a method used to humiliate them for the purpose of getting intel out of them. It isn't a few bad apples, it's a question of perhaps a bad system, but clearly we're playing very tough over there to get this intel we need, because we're facing a ferocious resistance over there, and the only way to crack a resistance is to be ferocious about cracking it. And clearly the methods coming back from Gitmo, from Guantanamo, being brought over there by General Jeff Miller back to Iraq, are the strong-arm methods that we're seeing right here in this prison. And clearly we don't like the looks of it. The American people don't necessarily have the stomach to be occupiers and prison guards, and certainly we don't have the stomach to be interrogators. And I think that's the picture we're seeing right now. It doesn't look good for our role as liberator of that country.
Well, are these proper ways to interrogate prisoners, Chris?
Well, I'm not an interrogation expert, but it's clear to me it's no way to sell a war, because the people, I have to tell you, the audience for this issue, people can complain about this, as El Miller complained about the other day. The American people are focused on our rollover. They want to know who the good guys are and who the bad guys are, and pictures tell the story. There's a great old Groucho Marx joke about how, are you going to believe me or your lying eyes? Well, our eyes tell us we're not exactly being the good guys over there, and I think that's the problem for the administration. I think it's the problem in the president's poll numbers, which are coming down. His job approval has been coming down dramatically, and clearly Congress, which always responds politically, is saying, hey, we got him where we want him now. We're going to be able to tell him how to run this war. And there, Wolfowitz, in the pictures we just saw, is the guy who doesn't like being told what to do. And there he is being interrogated by Ted Kennedy and the others, and also being told, yeah, you'll get your money, but we're going to keep a very strong string on it to make sure how you run this war now.
What about this competition for the moral high ground? It's almost like who is the lesser of two evils, which is a strange spot, I think, for the United States to find itself in. You mentioned Zell Miller, and he said, why is that there's more indignation over a photo of a prisoner with underwear on his head than over a video of a young American with no head at all? What do you make of that comparison?
I think the American people went into another country, Iraq, as liberators. First of all, the case was made that there were WMDs there that threatened us. Those weren't there. Then there was the case made, even before that this had something to do with 9/11, that they in Iraq had something to do with attacking us 9/11. Then the case was made, well, all right, we're there as liberators. We're the good guys. We're going to give them democracy. We're going to give them dignity, especially women. We're going to give women dignity. We're going to end that sort of repression by the men over the women. We're going to do all the good things in terms of that sort of sexual gender role. And now we see a strange picture of men being humiliated sexually, of women involved. We say, wait a minute, this is the very thing we were trying to change over there. And what do we look like to the world? We look like the people who are perverts. And I think we don't like to look like that.
All right, Chris Matthews in Washington. Chris, thanks so much. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Katie.
It's 7:15 now. Here's Matt.
All right, Katie, thank you. Popular radio talk show host Rush Limbaugh stunned fans last fall when he went off the air for 5 weeks to be treated for an addiction to painkillers. Well, now Limbaugh is lashing out at prosecutors investigating the case and at least one local newspaper covering it. Here's NBC's Martin Savage.
Feel free, because here it is again, just to make sure.
He may reach 20 million listeners, but Rush Limbaugh says he can't get his message out in South Florida. So he took out full-page ads in 2 Florida newspapers, blasting prosecutors who want to see Limbaugh's medical records to determine if he went doctor shopping to illegally obtain prescription painkillers. Limbaugh says that's a violation of his privacy and contends the investigation is politically motivated. Fans agree.
Well, it seems like a lot of people get away with a lot of different things, but because he's in the media and he doesn't represent the Democrats, they're going to go after him.
Limbaugh, who hasn't been charged with any crime, says one of the newspapers, the Palm Beach Post, isn't reporting his side of the story.
I am addicted.
Rush's wrath was fueled even more by a recent column the paper ran knocking him for comments he made downplaying the Iraqi prisoner abuse scandal.
I really find it laugh out loud funny that Rush Limbaugh has a problem with opinions.
One legal expert says by placing the ads, Limbaugh is out to influence more than public opinion.
The people that are reading the Palm Beach Post and that are reading the Sun Sentinel are potential jurors.
Meanwhile, the man behind the investigation, State Attorney Barry Krischer, a Democrat, denies there is anything political about it. For today, Martin Savage, NBC News, Atlanta.
Roy Black is Rush Limbaugh's attorney. He's also an NBC News analyst. Roy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt.
So what's the motivation behind the ad? Is this a way to get a message out to jurors or potential jurors in a potential criminal case?
Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely not, Matt. The one thing caveat I did want to make is that this is not relating to the medical records issue that's before the court, because we're not going to comment on this. This ad was put into the newspaper by Rush's radio network in response to a column in the Palm Beach Post editorial pages. Now, this is one in a series of one-sided opinion pieces in that newspaper. Mr. Sears is wrong because he does not allow any other viewpoint except the state attorney's on his editorial pages.
Wait, didn't you write a letter to that paper and wasn't it published?
Yes, but that's one in a series. I wrote a series of letters. I even complained to the general counsel of Cox Newspapers because they wouldn't let us in. They allowed one letter in weeks after the column that we were criticizing and had no impact whatsoever.
Let me ask you this, Roy. The ad says this, quote, editorial writers and columnists at the Palm Beach Post search for new ways to bash Rush Limbaugh and discredit him. How does Rush think, and how do you think that newspaper has done, not on the editorial side, but on the news coverage side of his case?
Oh, no, we're not complaining about the news coverage. We think the news coverage in the Post
has been fairly even-handed because they report both sides. It's the editorial pages that have been so one-sided.
But
and
don't
this
they have a
column-
right as a newspaper to take an editorial stance and stick with it?
No, I think that they should air both viewpoints. That, by the way, let me tell you about what happened in this column, because I think people need to know what was done last Sunday. They criticized Rush for his position on the photographs at Abu Ghraib prison, which is fair. They may have taken it out of context, they may have manipulated and twisted it, but that's opinion versus opinion, and that's fair. But then the kicker to that column is cheering on the prosecution in its investigation and prosecution of Rush and saying it might be a good idea to teach him a lesson by putting him behind bars. Now, I find that to be particularly egregious to say that because somebody's expressing his opinion under the First Amendment, no matter how controversial it may be, since he has the temerity to do that, we ought to prosecute him and put him behind bars to teach him a lesson.
However, Roy, the opinion you just talked about of maybe it's good to teach him a lesson, that's an opinion also, no matter how controversial it might be. So as a guy who goes on the radio every day and expresses his opinions, isn't it a little bit strange for him to now to be lashing out at someone else for doing the same thing?